It is going for all my music right now. I know people in the chat are mad about my music not being there. Kat, you are fine. It is not time for dinner. No, you're fine. Gesaffelstein? Faustus, is that... No, it shouldn't be off. Sound should be on. Okay. Hi, Zaged Cornarian. Sorry, I'm eating my dried cantaloupe. Banana Brains is actually the same hairstyle. And Blair Blahaj, thank you very much. I did it in like 3 minutes. I'm getting better at a kind of smoky eye look. I've been really trying to practice. And thank you, Gwennifer. I just decided to actually dry my hair a different way today. As I did my... I wash my hair probably once every 3 or 4 days. But no, this has been the same haircut I've had, y'all. Oh, thank you, Italian Shakespeare. I'm very happy. Y'all can thank Browdy Sucky Boy for the new Morgan cosplay clips. We might talk about Adobe if we have time, because Brady is the one who turned me on to a new editing program that I can use for my phone that's super easy. That makes it, I'm able to like digitally add things in that were extremely helpful. Zooted Cornarian, the artist is White Bat Audio. And so the reason is, it is not, I went on his website and I got some videos released from him, but it's so good. Screaming goats. Oh yeah, I'm gonna need headphones. I'm like, why can't I hear the screaming goat sound? I'll be right back. While we're waiting for everybody to filter in here real quick. Thank you, Majestic Direwolf. I love this shirt. I am very happy with it. I've been waiting with bated breath. I talked about this last time, but I got by a an Instagram like drop shipping thing. And come on, there it goes. All right, now it's pairing. I have been waiting for a month, and it's been in the city. I've been tracking it. It's been in the city for like 4 or 5 days now, and I'm so curious. I want to make sure it's good because I'm really excited for it. I got like 9 shirts for like $30. 9 shirts and a jacket for like $30. And I'm sure they're, you know, the printing is like going to be whatever, but they're all of like really cool horror movie designs. I got some tank tops, and I'm really excited for a double, like a reversible Godzilla versus Mothra jacket. But I have to get it first. I don't know how good it is. Oh yeah, no, those things go in the wash right away. Right away, Leofy. Right to jail. Thank you guys so much. Popping off already while we're waiting for everybody to filter in here. Thank you all for the biddies and the stickies already. Cyrus Legion, thank you very much. Gotta look at my... I so need to redo my background and reorganize everything because I've been just adding stuff in. Like I've added my... That's the screaming goat. Okay. Now I hear it. Oh, I don't want to crunch right into the mic. That'll be gross. Like, I have my X-Men 97 Rogue back here. I have my Pride Elvira back there, but I had to lean her up. See, she's past Morgan. Oh my god, Jackie Sins, holy fuck. You guys are having a lot of fun already. Good lord. Jackie Sins. Let me finish chomping on these. I'm going to turn the mic off real quick so you guys don't hear me just crunching away. Kat came to say hi. Kat comes out for Jackie Sins. All right, let me see if I can get... I'm not going to be able to read every name. Jackie Sins just got 50 memberships. Nightmare Taco. I'm besieged on all sides. Between Jackie Sins and Nightmare Taco. Do you have something to say, Kat? Okay, let me try and read. No, the chat has already gone past where I can read it. Natalie Marie, Toka, Nick BT, Dudist, Priest, Philip Kelly, Zikzik, Aaron D. Meyer, Salvatore, Ipitio, rolling in the dough this month. I don't know about rolling in the dough. All of that dough is going to debt. I am still paying off y'all. CPAC is still getting paid off. Chris De Laurentiis, Johnny Viral, Rune W, Alexis Montoya, Jaden Ho. I'm silencing it so just so we don't hear, because it's going to go through 50 times. So no more stickers for a little bit because it won't play the sound. As the sticker comes through. All right, after this Nightmare Taco, no more stickers because they won't play the sound. Karn, Graham 7, Z Monster, Kozin, Rashihata, Atspirin, Amaya Deacons, Rot Guts, Volt Juice, E-Man, Fuzz Yursa, Geodius. Can I help you, Kat? What? You got something to say? Eliza Ruiz, Benjamin Claudefeller, Creep Child, Kais Online, Heck Zero. The Trump Reaper, I was gifted a membership. How do I pay it back forward? Just enjoy it. Like, I mean, you have access to fun little cat. What? Cat is just poking me now. No, Cosmic, the gifts are over on... The gift subs are over on YouTube. Adrian, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much for super chatting $10. Just discovered your channel a few days ago and been watching a few. Love what I see so far. I would recommend, I don't know if you're into video games, but I would recommend going and checking out my older content. But thank you guys so much right off the bat. Holy crap. Oh, here's Kat. Kat says hello. What? You're rubbing up against my mic and bumping me in the face? What are you doing, Kat? And back down she goes. Swain402, thank you for resubscribing for 8 months. I think I can add more tiers on Twitch. I need to sit down and like really go through all of my streams and stuff because I need to add I want to see if I can add Discord as an option on YouTube. Punk ass Parker, thank you for $3. I'm a very okay. No, all right. I'm a recently new fan of you and your channel, and I have a dilemma for you. I just started a new job, and my boss is extremely bigoted and trans/homophobic nonstop. My partner's trans and make me sick to my stomach. What should I do? That's fucking tough. Because I don't know, like, so it depends on, are you dealing with a small business tyrant or are you dealing with like a corporate job? Because the easy thing, if it's a corporate position of any kind, would be to get HR involved or to make a anonymous complaint. Hello, cat. Oh my goodness. What? You're so purry. She just wants kisses. She just wants kisses and loves. If it is a local business, I mean, it depends on where you're located, too. Because there are certain things that you can do locally, like there are business bureaus and there are like local business management to make sure that, you know, businesses aren't being prejudiced and aren't being pieces of shit. But that's rough, because I'm assuming like I'm thinking about it from my perspective of like last year working a job, not because I want to, but because you need to, right? Like I'm now very blessed and fortunate. I get to do this for you fine people, and I have all your support. But before that, I was in the position of like, if I was at a job, I was fucking stuck with that job. I've only ever had one job I actually walked out of. And that was still precarious, but it was to a point where I felt I had been like so dehumanized that I was like, nah, I'm out. And so I guess that would be my follow-up to it, is like, I guess you have to decide your own if you do not want to talk to this person about it, which I totally understand. Like that's not saying a like, oh, you need to man up and you need to like tell them off. It's like, no, because not everybody, like, if you are doing that with a small business boss, like, you are potentially creating a much worse situation for yourself, assuming they don't just fire you or find some reason to fire you. Like small businesses, first time I ever had panic attacks was because a small business owner, a local place here in Spokane, small business owner who had a Nepo baby kind of son, who was the like the bar back for their restaurant, who was always like drinking on the job, always came to work like high on something, hungover. And he got in a fight with me over, like, he started snapping at me because I was working a party. It's a 2-floor, like a loft, and I was working host service for a party. And he was not getting drinks out fast enough. Like, he was serving all of his clients, but I needed drinks for my party, and I was waiting like 20, 30 minutes for some of them. And that impacted my tips. And so I ended up getting into it with him because it was like a 7-hour shit. You know, anybody who's been in restaurant, like y'all know the struggle. If you've worked in restaurants, you get it. I don't need to go into the whole thing. But after that point, like this was a job I was working 3 to 4 days a week, like dependable money, depended on tips, and they just stopped giving me. They didn't fire me. Now, I believe they didn't fire me, so they think they wouldn't have to pay unemployment or something like that. But they just didn't, like, they never formally fired me. They just didn't put me on the schedule anymore. 2 weeks go by. Oh, we'll put you on if we need you. 3 weeks go by. I started having panic attacks. I needed to be taken to the hospital because I had no idea what was happening. So, like, all of that is to say, don't put yourself in that kind of position. But if it is something that is so pervasive that it's going to keep bothering you, and you're not in a place where you can either contact somebody above him or do something to change that, I would consider finding, like, if you can, trying to find another job. Or It depends on how much of a good I was gonna say how much of a good Christian, although I don't know if you're Christian. How much of a like real turn the other cheek person do you want to be? Because you can always attempt to change his mind. Because here's the thing, I'm willing to bet he doesn't actually know many, if any, trans or queer people. And as we've talked about on here before, the number one thing that changes people's mind about trans and queer people is actually knowing one, actually having one in their life. Like that's how it goes. Yeah, I hope that helps. That sounds like a really fucking rough predicament to be in. Raven Rika, thank you for subscribing with Prime. Turtle Boom 05, thank you for 155 biddies. And Mr. Opie, thank you for 1,000 bits. Goodness gracious. And Mantis Shrimp with no guns. Who took that Mantis Shrimp's guns? I think Mantis Shrimp and Pistol Shrimp should get together. What was I going to say? $1.99 from Delon Fusk. How do you make your makeup look so smooth? I don't have that much makeup on, actually. I did my eyebrows, which this eyebrow's pissing me off a little bit. I have a little bit of like shadow that I just kind of patted out, and I use my finger for most of my shadow, which is why it can kind of look smudgy. And then I put a little bit of foundation on my cheeks. Like that's literally all I'm wearing. Actually, I do not have flawless skin. I wish I did. I do not. My skin's been okay. It like food, diet and vegetables are always so good. What's it, Toy? Thank you very much for following. Ooh, somebody had something I wanted to address. How much more until we pay off CPAC? A couple thousand. The big thing with CPAC is that, so a lot of my money that I made, because I made a decent amount on CPAC, but that immediately went towards not just my taxes from last year, because last year was the first time that I had done like YouTube as taxes. So I did not put away anything for it. So like a massive lump sum from CPAC went right to my taxes from last year. And from the year before, because long story, but I had a friend of the family, who was helping me out essentially by paying off my taxes from the year before. So it was back taxes really this year and last year. That was the big CPAC check. And then I put the rest of it in my savings. So while theoretically the income I got from CPAC could have paid off the debt I had from it, it just came out around tax season. So, but it is fine. I am not drowning in debt, like by any stretch. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to make it. I didn't bring it up to make anybody feel bad. Like I'm doing fine. Don't worry about it. Oh, there was something. The chat is already going too fast, but there was something I forgot to address that I wanted to. Ugh. Okay. Hello, cat. Are you okay? What? Cat, and if you had any doubt, lady is right here. Dog is right here. Oh, my little wumpus baby. Ugh. Oh, you're so heavy. You're so heavy. Well, I generally, not me, thanks. I generally don't blush because my face, I have naturally very rosy cheeks. And that comes through sometimes, even with like if it were a little bit warmer in here, it would come through a lot more. Okay. Oh, it was somebody asking. Oh, somebody asked my thoughts on the new Borderlands. Fucking yikes is my thoughts on the new Borderlands. Like, I I thought that movie was like, that is like, when I heard it was announced, like Kevin Hart in Eli Roth's Borderlands, I was like, okay, that's not getting made. Like that's one of those things that gets announced, like the Henry Cavill Warhammer project or fucking Gore Verbinski's BioShock or whatever. You're like, that's no way in hell. Like it's I'm sure people are in the back rooms thinking about how cool it would be, but no. But like actually seeing it in action. The one clip I saw somebody share from IGN looks really bad. Like it looks very bad. It doesn't have like, it's not that those characters don't translate into real life well, it's that the style is very specifically very cartoony. So when you have like Lilith's hair being all like weird and Lilith's hairy, and they're sticking with that, but it's not in this cartoon world, it's in this like more grim, like there's no cell shading or anything. It looks bizarre. It looks like a bunch of cosplayers got lost on the way to like Hall C, you know, and then they decided to film a movie about it. And then like the casting is like, don't get me wrong, I love Cate Blanchett. I like Jamie Lee Curtis. I like Jack Black as Claptrap is probably the best casting of the bunch, but like Lilith is not, like Cate Blanchett is not who I picture when I think like Lilith from the first Borderlands. Like Jamie Lee Curtis is not like who I picture when I think of Tannis. It is such a bizarre. I might just fucking see it. I might just fucking see it just for like just I don't know. Yeah, I feel like Roland, like Terry Crews is the obvious choice for Roland, right? Like that's the thing. Man, yeah, I don't know. What a weird thing. What a weird, dumb thing. Somebody also asked, what are my thoughts on the new Dragon Age? I've never played, even though I've downloaded Dragon Age 1 multiple times, never actually sat down and played them. And I don't know. I have a bad history of picking the worst BioWare games to play because I've started Mass Effect 1 multiple times. Do not like that game. I just straight up don't. When the new Legendary Edition came out, I tried to play it again. Still don't like it. Aside from that, I've only played Mass Effect Andromeda, another game. Do not like. Feels like literally unfinished. And the only other BioWare game I played is I started KOTOR. And I would love to be able to play KOTOR, but that game is clunky as fuck now. It is like, it's like, I know I would like it because like the combat is technically not that different from something like the tactical combat of like Baldur's Gate 3, but it's so clunky. It's so clunky. And so I've been waiting with bated breath. I'm like, okay, they're going to remake KOTOR, right? They're going to remake like maybe the most popular Star Wars game of all time, right? And it's just like I have no faith in like EA or anybody else to do it at this point. And I think the one KOTOR remake that was in the works got shelved. So rad. Like I'm at some point. There have been multiple times where I've sat down with KOTOR and been like, okay, this is the time. I'm locking in. I'm playing KOTOR. Because I enjoy like exploring that world and like here's Star Wars, but it's like really different and it's like I want to know more about that stuff, but Good God. Neverwinter Nights. Sussy Combat. Darth Revan reveal blew my 10-year-old mind. Upcoming Ghost movie right here, right. Is it... When you say Ghost movie, do you mean the band Ghost? When you say right, like, is it... Okay, are we talking a concert movie, or are we talking, like, a Kiss Psycho Circus type movie? Because I will absolutely... Any horror movie, or any band that makes a horror movie out of their iconography, I'm there. Like, don't even need to ask. Let's, like, do you want to talk about Dark Floors, the movie by the Finnish metal band Lordi? Talk about Kiss Psycho Circus. Talk about oh, okay, so it's a concert movie, but it also has some of their lore stuff. Maybe I saw them in concert at their last concert, so I feel like I kind of got the experience a little bit, but Azure Windress, thank you very much for $10. Watch the Borderlands movie so I don't have to. I watched the Borderlands movie so you don't have to. DMC live action movie. Yeah, that one's never... That is another one that was announced. I feel like the DMC live action movie was announced in 2013 or so. 2014. I want to look that up real quick before we get into this, now that we got everybody waiting on us. I want to say it was announced around the time of DMC Devil May Cry, but that's another one that I was talking about that is like that shit's never going to happen. Yep, look at that. Hollywood to make a Devil May Cry movie. It'll be a live-action project who has penned the upcoming and long-in-production hell Kane and Lynch movie. A Kane and Lynch movie could probably actually be okay. The Kane and Lynch movie, I feel like that works pretty well. Like the shitty Metallica one. No, the Metallica, are you talking about Some Kind of Monster? Because Some Kind of Monster is like a behind the scenes movie. It's a little different. It's more of a documentary. And what was the other? I was mentioning another horror movie with a metal band. Oh, of course, the classic Ghoulies 2. Featuring Blackie Lawless of Wasp. And also another hot 80s classic, The Dungeon Master. Also featuring Blackie Lawless of Wasp. Dungeon Master, by the way, legitimately, really, if you want a good midnight movie, I think Dungeon Master is on Tubi. Dungeon Master's fucking nuts, dude. Like, what happens if you made a Roger Corman movie that was like an R-rated horror flick, but it was also about a kid getting sucked into a video game, but it was also like kind of Conan / Dragon Slayer. Like, it's fucking nuts. Ridiculous. Did you ever see Dio in concert? No. Dio died way too early for me, unfortunately. Dio died when I was in middle school. And I was like... I have a Dio toy right behind me. You can see on the shelf back there. I was fucking heartbroken when Dio passed. I did see when the Dio documentary that came out last year, which is excellent, by the way. If you like just music, Go check out the Dio documentary. I forget what it's called. But I dragged one of my partners to see it in theaters with me. Dreamers Never Die. Was that 2022? God damn. Monster Dog starring Alice Cooper. No, but I will have to check it out. I want Monster Dog. Jeffrey Ritchie. I'm sorry for anybody coming into this. This is just my normal regiment. Ooh. Okay, I'm definitely going to have to check this out. Oh, it has a Blu-ray re-release. 1984. Oh, 4.4 out of 10. Leviathan. Claudio Fragasso. That sounds familiar to the part of my brain that used to watch a lot of Brad from Stone Gremlin. I feel like Claudio Fragasso made a lot of giallo films like that. Kroll is another one. Kroll, oh man, Kroll. What's one that I always love? Oh god, I forget the name of it, but I see it on Amazon all the damn time, and it's it's like Mad Max, but it's all scantily clad women, and it whips. Like, it's not good, but it's kind of good. Anyway, sorry, Jeffrey Ritchie, thank you very much for $10. Gender therapist from Southwest Washington here. I think the work you're doing is important, so here's some bucks. I appreciate it so much. Work I'm doing is important. Deathstalker. No, Deathstalker is a different one. I have seen Deathstalker, but oh, it's gonna fucking kill me. It's Phoenix the Warrior. That's what it is. I'm pretty sure. Yep, She-Wolves of the Wasteland. It's one of those movies that's like, there's a level of bad old movie that is interminably slow because they have a basic concept. What so many movies in the 80s did, especially during the VHS boom, was they had a basic concept, right? And they had technically a crew to shoot with. But what would actually happen is, because they were wanting to pump out so many movies so quickly, and this is where you got asylum films like mockbusters that would be like, okay, we know Poltergeist. Everybody wants to see Poltergeist when it's coming to VHS or to rental stores, so we're going to make Phantasm. Well, Phantasm is a different movie. We're going to make Spectre, or something that will get easily confused. And this is part of that. It gets all churned up in that same like ecosystem. So there are so many movies, so many like midnight movies, so many road movies and drive-in movies from the 60s, 70s, 80s that are really low budget, and for 90% of the runtime, not a goddamn thing happens. I know this because if you ever see those, because I used to watch these all the time as a kid, because my mom we didn't have a ton of money growing up, but I loved movies. I loved old movies and horror movies. And so my mom would get me you'll see them every now and again still, but the like 20-in-1 or like 15 horror movies, like the Creature feature pack or something. And it's like $5 for 10 movies you've never fucking heard of in your life. And you watch through those, and they're exactly the kind of thing I'm talking about, where it's like 90% of the movie is not a goddamn thing. Phoenix the Warrior is kind of like that, but it has heart. It has heart. There's something going on there. I remember being like, this is kind of awesome in a weird way. Is that purple and blue eyeshadow? No, it's just dark, kind of like obsidian purple. Brightling, thank you so much for $5. 2 months on E today. Thanks for all you do. The next taco is on me. Thank you so much, guys. Moist Moose, my fave movie lately is called Humanist Vampire Seeking Consenting Suicidal Person, originally French. It came out in 2023, and it's a French film, Quebec. It showed at TIFF. It's really good. I still have not forgiven the Quebecois for Johnny Depp's performance in Tusk. So I don't know if I will ever watch that. That was a joke. Was that a new haircut? No. No, I'm just wearing my hair like not even that differently, I feel. All right. So, dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to celebrate. No, now, normally, far be it from me. I am not one. Let me adjust that. I am not one to usually speak on cancel culture, right? But today, we have a very special little morsel to talk about, because I want to. We're gonna have a bracket today, a little bit, and it's just really a bracket of 3. But this Pride Month has been a wonderful time for the worst people getting their deserved comeuppance. And we're going to start off with the most recent one. Nick Fuentes getting his rally canceled at the last minute. Now, when I did my CPAC video, because in the past, Nick Fuentes has always had rallies usually around or across the street from CPAC. And I was waiting with bated breath. I had snuck into multiple Telegram channels. Like, I was keeping an eye out, ear to the ground, if like something was going to pop off, if there was going to be one, and I just didn't know about it. Did not happen, obviously. And then, just because I've been busy with so much other shit this month, I totally haven't even been paying attention until I found out that Nick was having AFPAC 4 at a convention area in Chicago, near another conservative PAC gathering of some kind, right? Now, I think I talked about this last stream, but if I had known about it, I would have tried to find a way to go somehow. I would have planned something. But it wasn't meant to be, and I'm glad I didn't, because honestly, I would have been pissed, and I know it wasn't meant to be, because as you can see here, and as we'll go into, we'll show some of the event that they had to actually resort to, because if you haven't been on Twitter, it's been a very glorious time to watch people fucking around and then find out. For those who don't know, we'll also talk about the Sneo thing, because Sneo, one of the, as I've said before, one of the 2 dumbest people on the internet, right there with Aiden Ross. Like, people so dumb, I don't know how they don't drown like drinking a glass of water. It's a miracle. They are like just having a brush with death every time they take a drink of tap water. They don't even know. Sneo got his front tooth knocked out, and we're going to see the just absolute Chad hero security guard who did it in a bit here. But I want to go through Nick Fuentes first, because for those who don't know, Nick Fuentes, right-wing, I'll say ultra-nationalist. He would describe himself, and has on multiple occasions, he describes himself as a Christian nationalist or a Catholic nationalist. And he really likes to, and what we'll see in the speech that he actually gave, he really likes to cover up his actual beliefs. He really likes to hide his power level, as the internet Nazis say. And Nick is an expert troll. Like, that is the thing he does best. That is why his army of groypers follow him, is because he is not genuine about the things he believes, which allows him, as we will see, to slip into these spaces where I've even seen people, because conservatives are easily led rubes, on Twitter being like, I don't understand, like watching the speech that Nick did give in Chicago, Why do people hate him so much? Why do they call him a Nazi? And it's because when he's giving a speech in public, if the speech he gave out on the street to his dumbass followers, right, is not the speech he would have given behind closed doors. We know that because we've heard the speeches he's given behind closed doors. Last year, was it last year or 2 years ago, he gave a speech in an event where he specifically said that all Jews need to be killed. Like, we know the shit he says when he thinks other people aren't listening. It was earlier, was it this year or last year, where he said that when he's 30, he wants to have a 16-year-old wife because he wants somebody who's young and fertile. These are the things that the mainstream conservatives, people like Elijah Schaffer, who are sucking up to this asshole, don't really like to bring up. People like Jake Shields, who were in videos like walking alongside him in Chicago, don't really want to bring up. Because they show that Nick isn't this calm, well-intentioned, just like he just believes what he wants. That's not Nick. That's not Nick. In fact, should we watch? You know what? I'm going to set the tone a little bit. Give me a second here. We are going over to... Yeah, no, Reed, I'm right there with you. Like, Nick Fuentes is... It worries me that Synthetic Man has a parenthetical around chill stream. I'm going to have to watch that later. I got my eye on you, bitch. We're going to watch him with this Catboy. No, we just watched him with the Catboy. Sorry, that was Catboy Nick. No, we are not watching Catboy Nick content today. I'm gonna go over a bit of my channel, the anti-Semitism video I did. I need to reorganize these. I haven't reorganized those in a minute. God damn, there's some old ones on there. Okay. For me, from my own channel. Oh, that's sweet of you. Thank you. Ella the Loving Gay, thank you very much. Oh, yeah, an Angry Goose. He's someone I 100% believe is only Catholic for the homophobia and Deus Vult memes. I believe Matt Walsh is actually religious, but Fuentes is just... Yeah. Like, Fuentes... He believes anything that will let him hate others, essentially. All right. So this is the video I made a couple months ago. If you haven't watched it, go watch the whole thing. But for those who don't have the whole time to watch it, we're just going to watch this section about modern anti-Semitism. And how Nick specifically spreads it. And I'll be right back. I'm going to get some snackies. Notoriety in the wake of the Charlottesville Unite the Right protest. Over the years, he's stayed barely relevant with his America First movement online, not to be confused with Sebastian Gorka's American First, but you can confuse it with the early 1900s racism movements because Fuentes stands for many of the same things. Nick is a troll and provocateur who has managed to succeed on a surface-level image of polished eloquence that barely hides his smarmy, smug objective. To simply piss people off. Probably the biggest reason he maintains relevance is his loyal army of basement-dwelling Pepe Avatar soldiers called Groypers, who can be found mauling, coping, and seething in the mentions of any random marble statue Twitter account. As a presence, Nick is hardly unique on the fringe of the right that can safely include neo-Nazis like Red Eyes TV and unhinged conspiracy peddlers like Alex Jones. He's not a particularly gifted or engaging speaker, but he's competent, and as a pedantic debater is able to convince his audience of his intellectual might with ease, mostly because they watch him to be convinced. You may be familiar with several stunts that have landed Nick in a wider spotlight, like getting Marjorie Taylor Greene as a speaker at his events. When Marjorie Taylor Greene was later questioned on Nick's anti-Semitism and racism, she claimed to not know who he was, which I actually believe. MTG seems like the kind of person to just see America first and trust the name on the box. More recently, though, Nick was also Kanye West's handler as he went around his ill-fated campaign for president, which mostly just included bizarre appearances on conservative podcasts and shows like Alex Jones and Tim Pool. Knowing Nick's history as a troll who slightly nods towards alt-right talking points like Holocaust denial, being against race mixing, and being against education for women is important to understand how he's managed to grow his presence and in turn how modern anti-Semitism continues to spread unabated. Because he really doesn't like to present any of those things up front.
And the problem that is going on, if women want to work their whole life and never have kids, I don't think that's good for them. I don't think that's fulfilling. But worse still is you have women that are promiscuous, which is a mortal sin. They'll wind up having kids, often become a single mom, and even if they're not, the kids wind up in daycare. And the point is just a very selfish
Like
lifestyle.
other fringe grifters, Andrew Tate or Alex Jones, Fuentes has made his reputation primarily for endorsing incendiary and somewhat violent rhetoric that often plays to various right-wing concerns like modern dating, job opportunities, or financial struggles, while his audience is looking for someone or something to blame for those struggles. Let's look at a great example from this guest appearance he did on a podcast. When questioned about being a white nationalist, anti-Semite, racist, bigot, fecal smear, he doesn't own up to any of it.
Nick Fuentes, known for holding anti-Semitic views and denying the Holocaust. That's what it says here. He's a far-right supremacist and political commentator and live streamer. He identifies as a member of the incel movement and as a supporter of authoritarian government, and is a Catholic integralist, got to learn how to read, and white Christian nationalist. In 2020, seeking to establish a white supremacist conference to rival CPAC, Fuentes began holding the annual America First Political Action Committee, AFPAC. Fuentes attended 2017 white supremacist rally in Charlottesville and later was the attendee of speaker events preceding the 2021 United States Capitol attack. So there's a bio. How much of that is accurate? And here's your chance to write your own bio.
Well, a lot of it's not true. Every time they say my name, they got to throw in white supremacist, white nationalist, anti-Semitic, neo-Nazi. You know, I don't identify with any of those things. I'd say I'm a Catholic American nationalist.
Instead,
Catholic.
simply portraying himself.
So this is the really important part that everybody needs to pay attention to. I think I need a timeout. Lane Kaplan, of course, I totally understand. In an hour or so, we'll probably be covering Alex Jones, and so there'll be less anti-Semitism if you want to pop back in. But if not, thank you very much for hanging out. Reviat, thank you very much for another $10. Goodness gracious, you guys, today. Thank you for doing what you do. I'm both Catholic and trans and bi, and it's so sad to see people who claim to be loving be the exact opposite. I love what you make, and I love all my queer siblings. I love you too. Thank you so much for the support. Yeah, Tim Pool has been sliding rapidly towards that area, so that's not too surprising for me. This is the most important part about Nick, though, because if you listen to everything he just said, he likes to couch it by saying I'm a nationalist, and he likes to say these things as if it just means I love my country. It just means I want to do what's best for my people. And it's the same kind of caveat that all racists and bigots like to employ. It's like, oh, okay, so you're allowed to have black pride, but I can't have white pride. I'm not hating anybody else. I just want a place for like my own people. I just want to do this. The problem with that is it's never actually just that. Like that's always a lie. That's always a trick. It is never actually just, hey, we like white people. Because it always is done in service of being able to say, we hate black people, we hate Jews, we hate this, that, and the other. It is never, ever just, oh, look at white people. Like it's not. That is the type of shit that Nick is selling and that the easily led masses who go to his rallies will buy. Now,
The next clips that I lay out in this video are very good. As a brave questioner of accepted truths who's been ostracized for speaking up where others simply dare not tread. Nick Fuentes has famously denied the Holocaust through several clever, cute bits where he merely jokingly nods to denial while pretending to be talking about something else, like cookies.
And in addition, in this hypothetical, I imagine that if you took aerial photographs over the kitchens, you would need to see certain smokestacks to release the smoke from baking the cookies, and the smokestacks would project certain shadows, but I guess they're not visible in the aerial photographs taken over the kitchens. Moreover, if you look at the soil texture, it's really not deep enough for mass cookies.
The other thing, all of the talking points, as I talk about here, all of his anti-Holocaust talking points are from the Luchter Report, which is a famous white supremacist neo-Nazi text meant to disprove the Holocaust that was almost immediately proven as a fake. Like, almost immediately. Go look into the Luchter Report. Watch this whole video, because I give you all the shit that you need to go and disprove these dorks, like, once and for all. And I don't want to. The video took me a month to make, and it's 2.5 hours long. So, like, there's a lot there.
Storage underground. And so there's a lot of things, in the cookie kitchen, they say that the ovens are wooden and they have windows on them and they're not totally secure. And the ovens that they use, they actually did sort of an ad hoc use of that particular kind of oven, even though they made a perfectly good design for ovens for a different purpose, for delousing. I mean, for something else. So none of it really...
But aside from very thinly attempting to pretend like he's not talking about something while obviously talking about it, Nick loves to act like he's not actually a racist or white supremacist, mostly when he gets invited on podcasts or gets called out on his bullshit. But if he's not a white supremacist or an anti-Semite, why would he say this stuff?
Take a wild guess why conservatives have been losing for 100 years. It's because the conservative movement is full of atheists, Jews, and homosexuals. And the conservative movement is full of people exactly like this. And that's why the conservative movement is never going to save this country. I won't even call myself a conservative for that reason. What we need is a real reactionary right-wing movement led by real Christians, real Americans, real right-wing people. Not all of these interlopers, and that's exactly what they are. Democrat to deplorable? Fuck you, okay? How about just deplorable? How about just conservative? No Democrats, no liberal Jews from D.C. for crying out loud. Every time they say my name, they got to throw in white supremacist, white nationalist, anti-Semitic, neo-Nazi. I don't identify with any of those things. It's so, how am I the only person saying this? Like, I feel like I'm going crazy because this is just obvious. Everybody feels this way, but no one wants to they don't want to say it, and they also don't want to admit it when I say it. When I say it, they go, it's like Scarface. So there's the bad guy. Because, the same black people that are the eternal victim, the same blacks that were saying, oh, they're poor kids, oh, they're poor this, they're inner city schools, the food ghettos, endless. And they're the ones that are robbing everybody in Chicago. They're the same ones doing heists. Enough already with this. Picking up after them, picking up their garbage, and we're gonna make these, we have to pander more to them. Seriously? I mean, let's have a little bit of dignity. This used to be a great country. Now it's a trash heap, and we gotta get on our hands and knees and beg these people to appreciate what they've been given on a silver platter. I'm not gonna do it. I don't identify with any of those things. That's my favorite part of the whole story. It's not just that he's a black guy beating up his girlfriend. Like, no matter what you do with them, you can put him in the U.S. Army advertisement. You can make him the star of the biggest franchise, cinematic franchise in the history of Earth. Then you put him in an Oscar film as well. I mean, this guy's like supposed to be world famous. They're clearly setting him up to be a Denzel, Will Smith, whatever. You can take the out the hood. You can't take the hood out the. I don't identify with any of those things. But people say, oh, well, he was a globalist. He was this universalist. He wanted the whole. Well, that's not quite true. He was making Germany great again in his own special way, in a more classical way, making the German nation, if the German nation is considered as the German peoples, he was making that German nation great again. The reason people don't want to talk about that, the reason people can't embrace that, which is common sense and moral, is because people associate with a little guy named Adolf Hitler. Anytime you bring up ethnic nationalism, white identity, yeah, who do you think of? Adolf Hitler, the bad man that killed all those people. Well, I don't know, maybe it's a good idea that America should be white, but also by the same token, that sounds like the bad guy. That sounds like the guy that I was taught, from cradle to grave, that was the most evil person. There can be no recourse about that. There can be no debate about that. I might say that's deliberate. Some might say that's deliberate. You might start to wonder, why is it illegal to question certain things in Europe? Why is it basically illegal to have a contrary opinion? How about those 200 to 300,000 Jews that he mercilessly wiped off the face of the planet that we will never get back? How about those people? It makes me sick. It makes me sick when people lie about the most evil man in history. No, but in all seriousness, that's a joke, of course. That's a joke. We know that the number was closer probably to at least 1 billion. But no, of course, why do I just punish myself? I just do this to myself. But I do it for you, the people, because it is funny. But in all seriousness...
Nick
I gotta
Fuentes,
show
known
this.
for holding anti-Semitic views and denying the Holocaust. That's what it says here. And white Christian nationalist.
I'm a polite, respectful person, and I treat everybody in a respectful way. I happen to have views that politically are totally against the system. This anti-Semitic neo-Nazi.
You have this reputation.
Identify with anti-Semitic neo-Nazi because I really believe them.
45 minutes ago, you threw a huge fit whenever anyone here brought up the accusations of you watching child porn.
It's a little different. People call me a hypocrite for this. I mean, at the end of the day, what can a person do? Hitler.
As the years pass and Nick gives greater looks into his personal life and beliefs, it becomes more clear what a disgusting little troll he is. He has recently defended friends of his who were found in ownership of child abuse materials. He has openly talked about trying to marry a 15 or 16-year-old girl. He puts out this alpha, Chad bro, tradcath image that feels entirely like posturing for his legion of internet fans who have invested the entirety of their personality into picking fights on Twitter and yelling slurs in Call of Duty lobbies. And his vaguely polished appearance and self-proclaimed canceled status have earned him street cred for luminaries like Trump and Kanye West. Like them, Fuentes relishes a self-persecution complex, blaming others, in this case the Jewish-controlled media, for his own personal mistakes. He is constantly bemoaning being kicked off of PayPal and other payment services, being pushed off YouTube.
Jonathan, thank you very much for the $5.
For those unaware as political suppression, rather than the fact that he regularly just says stuff like this.
I'm a misogynist, and I didn't choose that. I didn't choose to be born. I've never touched a woman in my life. I'm stone cold to somebody. Yeah, well, I don't even want that. So, I don't want touch. I don't want a relationship. You know what I want? Total Aryan victory. That's all I want. I didn't choose that. All I want is revenge against my enemies and a total Aryan victory. Hugs and kisses, touch, sappy stuff, hand-holding, please. All I want is revenge and an Aryan victory for my people.
Nick Fuentes.
So that should give everybody as much of a look as you really need into Nick Fuentes. But I want to go and see if I can find real quick. A friend of mine posted something, and I think I retweeted it, so I want to go back and see it. Yep, here it is. This is the other good clip. Good being a relative term here, but this really gives
gives an idea about what Nick is about.
No, bitch. I want to drink it straight from the tap. I want it raw. I don't want to wait a moment. Right when the milk is good, I want to start drinking the milk. Same thing goes with women. I don't want to turn 30 and find some 20-year-old, 29-year-old woman that I have something in common with, and it's like, hey, properly aged, like wine. Women don't age like wine, they age like milk. They don't age like wine. That's not how their hormones work. That's not how they work. Yeah, I gotta find my 16-year-old wife. Probably when I turn 30 or something. Because here's the thing, I don't want to be like, let's say I get married to the 18-year-old now. 6-year age difference. When I turn 40, she's going to be 34. Ew. What if I'm 30 and she's 16? 14-year age difference. When I'm 50, she'll be 36. When I'm 40, she'll be 26. Then now we're talking here. Now we're cooking with gas. Now you can see an alternative vision for how things could be. I want a 16-year-old that's untouched, pristine, untouched, uncorrupted, innocent. That's what we all want. And all 16-year-olds want an older guy who's like capable and strong and everything to sweep them off their feet. That's what everybody wants.
Should be noted, Nick is famously an incel. By his attesting, which I don't believe him, I think he has had sex with boys. But hammers. Just all the hammers. Hammers. What else can you say? This man, hammers. No, he doesn't say psych. He believes that shit. This is what he sincerely believes, right? So we're going to go through, and I want you to notice when people talk about, and let me show the Sneo thing really quick. Because Sneo and Nick were not leaving the premises when they were starting to get ousted. And so this Chad of a security guard, this just absolute unit, this soldier of God, this righteous man walking a lonely road against the swarm of incels. I already showed off the shot that's coming after it, but this video is this is the new Nazi getting punched video, and it's just straight up the Thanos punch from Infinity War. Like, it's amazing.
Okay, what are you? What are you? What are you? What are you? Fuck you! 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 Fuck you!
And that was how Sneo lost a tooth. That was how Sneo lost his tooth. You love to see it. Oh, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So, I'll look this up. Go over here. Because the thing that precipitated that, now that we've talked a bit, we know who Nick Fuentes is, right? We talked about how he used... So Nick really tries to keep everything on the DL, on the down low. Like, because they are open Nazis, and everybody knows this, and you can point to any number of news media articles and send them to any
event venue organizer, owner, anything, and they'll be like, oh no, we don't want these people here because they bring violence and hatred wherever they go. We do not want to be associated with them. So because of that, well, we'll find out here. I'll go to Amanda Moore's Twitter in a second. What they did was they essentially used a proxy service to organize their event. They did not speak person to person, Fuentes or his management, to anybody else. They used another event organizer to put their event on at the venue, so that the venue didn't know who was actually like really going to be there until they did, and they decided to cancel it, which left, as we'll read here, Nick and his Groyper Nazi buddies on the street. From Detroit Free Press, the leader of a controversial right-wing group canceled their conference in Detroit, alleging they were kicked out of the Russell Industrial Center, where they said they had plans to hold events. The move comes after Detroit police had responded to a dispute involving the group on Friday. Nicholas Fuentes of the America First Political Action Conference said Saturday on social media that the group was setting up the stage on Friday. Fuentes said they had a contract for the venue, but an official with the Russell Industrial Center said they were tricked by the group and never had any contact directly with Fuentes or AFPAC. The center was working with a third party, quote, a local and reputable production company that does large-scale corporate events for other reputable companies. The spokesman said they would never accept such an event if they had known what they promote. Like, they straight up, as much as they want to say, because we'll go into some of Nick Fuentes' comments and stuff, and his stupid people in his comments, the Groypers and everything, talking about, they tried to spin this as a victory, right? And the way that they do that is they say, okay, well, obviously, you know, it's the QAnon thing. It's like, oh, well, why would people try and stop us from speaking the truth? Because they know that we're over the target. It's because actually we're getting very close to the mark. And so you'll see if you go into Nick Fuentes' comments on Twitter, because he's been reinstated. Thank you, Elon, for reinstating explicit neo-Nazis. Good job. If you go into Nick Fuentes' comments, you have a lot of people praising him and saying, this is how you know things are really controlled by the Jews. But if they hadn't been shut out, they would still be saying the exact same thing. So like any development that happens to them, straight up, will just reaffirm that. Like it's not actually like a genuine confirmation, even to them. I feel like they know that. Like at some level, not all of them, but some of them have to know that. Blue Heartless, is this allowed, like lying to get into places? I think it's probably like a gray area that the event was not happy with, because as we read here, quote, the event was canceled due to fraudulent, knowing misinterpretation of the true nature of the event by the production company for their client, and our concern of safety for our facility, employees, tenants, and surrounding communities. A spokesman for the Russell Industrial Center told the Free Press in a statement. This is my favorite part. Quote, the amount of hate mail we received and terrible things being said towards us by the AFPAC following is disturbing and only affirms our decision as the right one. Like, so I guarantee they were sending like death threats and shit. I guarantee they were sending like death threats. Like, not a doubt in my mind. Fuentes has been described by some groups who monitor hate groups as a white nationalist who promotes racist, sexist, anti-Semitic, and homophobic views. Would we say that, chat, after what we just watched? Would we say that's pretty accurate? I think that's pretty accurate. The spokesman for the Russell Industrial Center said it's a performance and arts complex, not a political rally hall. We never have and will knowingly accept those kind of events and believe it is a gross misuse of our space. We do not politically affiliate with any group or party. It baffles me why they chose our venue for such an event. Probably because it was the only one they could get into. That is probably it. I am willing to bet after the last couple times, like Holiday Inn, Hilton, of actual convention centers aren't going to fucking want them to deal with them. Hearn said it was a dispute between the Russell Industrial Center and the group leasing the space. The spokesman praised the actions of Detroit police, saying they did an outstanding job in responding and peacefully protecting the property. We thank them endlessly.
Before the event, quote, we were told when booking the event that it was a private, high-class corporate event with a seated dinner and some keynote speakers. So that is a fucking lie. Like, yeah, they are straight up lying to get into this place. The production company also had us downsize our normal security protocols as they kept ensuring us, this is the wrong use of ensuring, it should be EN, ensuring us this was a corporate event with all professional corporate attendees. Fuentes posted a photo on X of what appeared to be himself inside a center on Friday with some police officers near him. Yesterday we finished setting up our stage and the venue called the cops to kick us out 24 hours before the event. Fuentes said on X, quote, it would have been our biggest yet with 2,000 attendees. And yeah, it would have been the biggest. They had sold out, as I talked about it before. They had tickets up to like $20,000. Like all expense pass tickets to this event. 20 people paid 20 grand. And that was just for the ticket. That's not even like travel costs. Fucking bananas. Here's the connection because oh yeah, Nick Fuentes, he's such a rogue renegade. He's so big and tough, and he's such a rogue independent Sigma that he always has to ride somebody else's fucking coattails. Always. Fuentes often holds his conferences near the location of more mainstream conservative conferences, said an official with the Southern Poverty Law Center. This weekend, Turning Point Action, led by Charlie Kirk, is holding a conference at Huntington Palace in Detroit, where former President Trump spoke Saturday. Fuentes showed up at the Huntington Palace on Friday before being escorted out by security, social media posts show. He then gave some remarks outside the center against Israel, criticizing their actions against Palestinians and attacking Turning Point for being pro-Israel. Intend to reschedule the AFPAC conference. Chat. Do I? I will be watching your career with great interest. I'm getting a lot of conflicting things. I'm getting a lot of conflicting responses. All right, so let's watch some of the speech, I guess.
Sorry, I'm sure you all saw I got banned from Turning Point USA yesterday.
God, he is such a, like, even in this, he's so fucking whiny. Oh, and we need to see, yeah, here's Sneo after getting his tooth knocked out. Like, dude got still such a fucking dumbass. Like, actually so stupid. Oh, great. A Zionist canceled his event.
I think it's gay.
Is it a way around premarital sex?
No, not
Pegging.
I think it's gay.
Is it a way around premarital sex?
No, not a good one.
Would you ever date a Jewish girl? Nick, what's your stance on...
No, it up really super awesome. This is, by the way, this is a great fucking picture for Newsweek to use from a couple years ago. This is fucking great. Like, this is so, like, embarrassing. I think that's from 2016.
I don't think they believe that Christ is king. I think that at Turning Point USA they're a little confused. At Turning Point they think that Israel is king. Down with Israel! Down with Israel! Down with Israel!
So when people start up, we've talked about it in the chat, and I talked about it in my video on anti-Semitism. And if you haven't watched the video Jesse Gender did on anti-Semitism, also a very good one, most recently,
there is a massive difference, and Ted Cruz tried to spin this as Democrats, when David Duke came out in support of Nick Fuentes here, because David Duke is like the leader of the Klan, like he's a fucking racist piece of shit. Ted Cruz tried to twist it as because David Duke he's condemning people who are pro-Israel, so therefore he's condemning, or he's siding with the Democrats who are pro-Palestine, when in actuality David Duke was praising Nick Fuentes, who had dinner with Trump, the same person who Ted Cruz endorsed for president. So it's really not really meshing there. But when these people say down with Israel, they don't mean solidarity for Palestinians. There is a massive gulf between the way that these words are construed. These people mean that all Jews should die. These people have deep-seated beliefs, and you can hear Nick Fuentes talk about them, that Jews are a forbidden people, that there is something intrinsically wrong with them. Of course, racist, bigoted nonsense. That is massively different than the broad left wing, not liberal, because I would say a lot of libs support Israel over Palestine and buy Israeli propaganda, but the left-leaning pro-Palestine supporters who actually give a fuck about the innocents being slaughtered by a genocidal government. Two very different approaches, because here's the thing, at the end of the day, if tomorrow Nick Fuentes woke up, all the Groypers woke up, and they got their wish, Israel wiped from the face of the planet, do you know who's next? Muslims and Palestinians. To them, they are just a different shade of brown. To the racist, they are just a different shade of inferior. Like, there's no difference to them. Aside from what they can currently use in the cultural zeitgeist as a wedge issue to spew their noxious hatred. And we've seen that on Twitter. We've seen it with accounts like, that fucking fake doctor account, Dr. Loomis? God, what's her name? We've seen it with a couple of the marble statue Avi accounts who spread these ideas with Jackson Hinkle is another one, where they are using this war, a genocidal campaign against the Palestinians. They are using it as a way to wedge their racism in there. Somebody will say, hey, I think Palestinians shouldn't be murdered for not doing anything. That's kind of fucked up, Israel. And they will tap them on the shoulder and be like, hey, did you know that Jews actually control Hollywood and the media? And of course, because this is the internet, the dipshit on Twitter will go down a rabbit hole of information just drip fed to them from these right-wing accounts, specifically meant to funnel them down this ideology. So don't let anybody ever tell you that, oh, well, Nick Fuentes, he just wants us to not be as involved with Israel. Yeah, so does the left. Nick Fuentes actually wants every Jewish person to die. Let me see if I can I have that article somewhere real quick. Like, he actually wants Jewish people dead. It is not just a matter of what he would like to say is nationalism. Trump dinner guest says perfidious Jews should be executed. America First hate leader Nick Fuentes called for those suppressing Christianity to be absolutely annihilated in recent live stream. When we take power, they need to be given the death penalty straight up. He has said what he means. He has said it out in the open. People have a record of this. Have these facts on hand. They are easily verifiable. So if you ever encounter somebody who says, well, I don't know, Nick Fuentes is saying some stuff that makes sense, because the way that he says it in public is different than how he says it in private. In public, it's just about, oh, we were just promoting nationalism and America is a great country and we shouldn't be involved in foreign wars. In private,
It is those people are the synagogue of Satan. That there's something wrong in their DNA inherently. That some races are better than others, and that some people deserve to die because of that. He won't say that shit out here in the air. Because he knows this is like when he goes on Alex Jones's show. He's been on the Alex Jones show a lot recently. And when he goes on Alex Jones's show, he won't fucking say any of this shit. Because despite what all the groypers want to pretend Nick is, he is not anything more than a massive pussy. He doesn't say anything with his full chest. He is a coward. But that is why he's thrived. You understand? He's like, this is going to kick it. I'm sure some people know here. Transformers Prime, right? Like, what I get, and he's like Starscream broadly in that way. There's no real Megatron. But in Transformers Prime, it's one of the best kind of representations of that type of character. Because he is constantly just this wormy, whiny little bitch who is always conniving, always has some kind of plan, is always placating the person in power nearest to him so that he can use them to get more power. And we've seen him do that multiple times. We've seen him do that with Kanye West. He does it with Alex Jones. He does it with Donald Trump. We've seen him do it with fucking Jake Shields and Sneo. Like, this is somebody who believes that black people are inherently inferior to white people. He has said as much. He said, we just saw him in a video say, you can take an N-word out the hood. You can't take the hood out the N-word. And I censored it, but that was a hard ER, by the way. So you can't tell me that he actually believes that Kanye West is like an equal to him. No. But the entire time he knew that Kanye West is one of the biggest stars in the world. Just gave him a bigger platform to talk from. Mr. Hot Indian Guy, do you know if Kanye and Nick still have a relationship? I don't know. I don't think so. I think Kanye just fell off the fucking face of the earth after his goddamn weird fucking like campaign imploded. I know there was some kind of beef between Nick Fuentes and Milo Yiannopoulos because Milo was also trying to grift off of Kanye for a hot sec. Yeah, Kanye has his little followers, but he's kind of in a dark bubble. I mean, here's the problem with Kanye, though, is that Kanye has a bunch of people who still listen to his music, who still will say, because he is such, like, Kanye is one of the, might be completely insane. That doesn't take away from the fact that Kanye West is one of the biggest, most recognizable names in music in the world. And Nick Fuentes knows that. He uses that to his advantage. That is the kind of conniving, manipulative person he is. Green Ghost 2008, this is a Vaporwave channel.
Down with Israel! Down with Israel! Down with Israel! Down with Israel! I'm Lebanese, by the way.
This fucking account seems like a goddamn psyop. Lady Justice, Lady for Gazans. Zionism is Nazism. From river to the sea, Palestine will be free. You are supporting an actual Nazi. The American people are rising up against their Zionist occupiers. That is a fucking dog whistle. That is saying that Jews control the government. Unfucking believable.
I'm here to tell you that Israel is not the king of the United States. God with Israel! God with Israel! Is the king of the United States of America!
So this is another point. When you hear about, because I'm sure people have said, I think Matt Walsh has said it, talked about how when it came out that Christ is King is now effectively, and this isn't like, Christ is King is something I heard all the time as a kid in church. There's not a 100% guarantee that when somebody says it, they're Nazis trying to spread Nazi propaganda. But it is now a Christo-fascist talking point because of people like Nick Fuentes. So when you see that shit, there is a high probability on Twitter and in online spaces you're looking at an actual Nazi. And they are just using it, again, as another fucking dog whistle. Because all of these guys are pussies. They can't say anything but their chest. They are too fucking afraid of the actual consequences. All right, let me see. Here's a friend of the show, Amanda Moore at No Turtle Soup. You love to see it. She was there covering all of this. This is a far leftist who I think played a role in getting AFPAC canceled. When I don't know when Nick got the news, but the timestamp/posts are interesting. Imagine bragging about shutting down an event that people took time off and spent money to travel to. People who can't debate you will silence you. Yeah. When they're Nazis, I feel like that's the morally correct thing to do. Y'all have been silent. Sneeko lost a tooth. By my account, 2,000 Nazis missing out on their little dinner date, wasting money to travel hundreds or thousands of miles, and only ending up sitting on a fucking street corner to hear somebody yell into the wind through a megaphone. I'm sorry, that's peak. That's a win. I see this as an absolute win, to quote the memes. Like, that is, it don't get better than that. It don't. Like, that's good shit. That's good shit. So let's move on to, because I'm saving Big Daddy Alex Jones for last, but I wanted to go over another one on the where is that? Why? Where the hell was that? Holy crap. Oh, there it is. Now, the next stop on the fuck around find out train, this one's a little bit less high profile, but still pretty notable. Because if you remember, a couple years ago, Gina Carano, star of The Mandalorian, had a fairly popular character that could have had a recurring role, not just in The Mandalorian, but all the shows it's spun off into now. She threw it away for anti-Semitic conspiracy theories and COVID bullshit, which nobody gives a fuck about or remembers now. A federal judge has signaled that Gina Carano's lawsuit against Disney and Lucasfilm over her termination from The Mandalorian will be allowed to proceed as the court considers whether the First Amendment allows private companies to sever ties with employees who publicly clash with their values. Now, she's trying to sue them because years later, her career as a explicitly conservative leaning entertainer, not really panned out too well. Let me actually go see what do we got on. I want to show you how her career has gone from let's go down here, right? What were we talking first ones? Because she was in Blood and Bone, Haywire, Fast and Furious 6. Her first big break was Fast and Furious 6, right? Did a TV show, a couple B-rate movies. Deadpool, pretty damn good. Kicked by like a bunch of other direct-to-DVD stuff. Then she had The Mandalorian. Now, Fast and Furious, Mandalorian, Deadpool. In the span of just a couple years, like in the span of 7 years, you are in Star Wars, a Marvel movie, and motherfucking Fast and Furious, like some of the biggest franchises on the planet, right? And since then, in the last 4 years, she has done Terror on the Prairie, a B tier, another direct-to-video style. This was a Daily Wire joint. But it was, I believe Terror on the Prairie was one that they just funded. They didn't actually like have a hand in making. And My Son Hunter, a completely phony, like, I don't even know how to describe My Son Hunter. She played I believe a Secret Service agent who gets sexually assaulted by Joe Biden. Or something to that effect. Like it's a completely facetious, not facetious isn't even the right word, like a completely malicious, made up drama, quote unquote, about Hunter Biden. Let's look up the thing of My Son Hunter to see the and she was first listed on the to give you a taste of what the lineup is like here. A fictional retelling of the lifestyle and scandals of Hunter Biden. So it's completely made up, basically. It's completely made up. Let me see. All right, let's go to YouTube because IMDb is not loading. God damn. Okay. She hunts her own son. Why? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, y'all. That's what I'm saying. All right. I hate that Synthetic Man is at the top of my fucking Okay, all right. Let's watch My Son Hunter, the trailer. I love. Oh my God! No, go back, sir. Go. You cannot. Come here. Stop it. The trailer starts. The trailer that is on YouTube for this is a screen cap where you can see Daily Mail and Breitbart up in the top corner. First result for the My Son Hunter trailer. That's the level we're talking here. I can't. Good job, Gina.
So I'll tell you what's going down.
You know who I am.
They told me you were VIP. All connected to the government.
What kind of a moron forgets to pick up his laptop at a repair shop? You're a Biden. Act like one. Everything he built, his life, I just ruined it all. I want to know everything that's on that laptop that can ruin my erection. My friends, it's time to party!
Didn't you know I'm taking control? I make an appearance and I gotta go, cause I get them dancing with their hands up. Yeah, I walk in and they go bananas. I'm a bad, yeah.
I'm an artist.
Tell me how I can help you.
I don't deserve help. Oh, I'm so sorry.
I've been through worse.
You're the smartest man I know. Thanks, Dad. I just wish I could smack some sense into you. I'll never forget Corey Pop. He was a bad dude. No joke. Dad, we were talking about suffering.
I can't seem to find anything but positive stuff on the Bidens.
Who's the point man for the foreign policy in the Obama regime? Joe Biden. So it looks like you need $1 billion.
So the obvious next question is,
Where's Hunter? I can remember getting paid some money, but I can't remember what for. Well, my dad says.
This is a 100% real film that somebody made. A fictional crime, I guess, like, it looks like they're trying to do like an offbeat crime thriller, like Inherent Vice, about fucking Hunter Biden. Thank you so much, Reb Rock. Found you through your Spokane Pride speech. Never seen a creator from here. Oh, thank you. I have a lot of other videos about from Spokane. So like, yeah, conservatives are just way too fucking obsessed with how cool Hunter Biden is. But yeah, that is the trailer for Gina Carano's latest release. You might wonder why she's trying to sue Disney now for some money. It's a mystery, truly. The mind, it boggles the mind why she would want to be yeah, chat, this is very real. U.S. District Judge pushed back on arguments from Disney lawyer Daniel Petroselli, who argued that the lawsuit should be dismissed because the company has the, quote, right not to associate with a high-profile performer on a high-profile show who's imbuing the Star Wars series with views it disagrees with that could turn fans away from the show. Which is yeah? Like, you wouldn't want anybody representing your product continuously. Like, I don't understand how I thought conservatives were all for like businesses choosing shit, but not when it actually affects them. I'm not convinced there are no disputed facts, Judge Garnett responded. She pointed to allegations that Carano was terminated to deflect attention from Disney's contentious business decisions at the time, including the company's contract dispute with Scarlett Johansson and criticism of Florida's parental rights and education law, which led to the dissolution of its special tax district in the state. Which, that's fair. Carano sued after Lucasfilm in 2021 announced she wouldn't be returning to the series after sharing a post which said, quote, most people today don't realize that to get to the point where Nazi soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. The post continued, quote, how is that any different from hating someone for their political views? Yes, it's truly the same when you are on the side of people who are, what is that thing? Is that the wire? That wire? No, there's a, I don't know what the hell it is. I guess that's it. All right. Yeah, so for everybody who doesn't remember that was in 2021. The company claimed that there are broad liberties afforded to private speakers on what viewpoints they choose and don't choose to express. In a case dealing with speech rights, Supreme Court held that organizers of a parade had a constitutional right to not to include in the event a group seeking to express a message that they didn't like to convey. The organizer's decisions to exclude a message it did not like fell within its right as a private speaker to shape its expression by speaking on one subject by remaining silent, the court found.
Disney argued there's a First Amendment right to choose employees who promptly convey their values, even when those choices would otherwise violate state anti-discrimination laws. It cited the Supreme Court in Boy Scouts of America v. Dale, finding that the organization's decision to fire an openly gay assistant scoutmaster is protected under the Constitution. That constitutional right, the court concluded, shields the scout from violations of New Jersey discrimination laws. I don't think that is literally discrimination. If they were fired for being openly gay, then what the fuck is the point of a discrimination law? Oh, shocker. Carano's backers include Elon Musk, who's helping fund the lawsuit through X. He said he would foot the legal bill for users who claim they have been discriminated against due to their activity on the platform. Interesting. I wonder how many bills he's going to get to foot from Nazis. Ooh, that was squeaky. Okay, now I'm going to go refill my water. I'm actually going to go put some tea on real quick. We're going to take a brief break before we get into the big bad daddy of fucking around and finding out. I mean, Elon Musk has money. He's not making money through X. X is bleeding money. Elon Musk has like unlimited government money, basically. He gets so many fucking government contracts and taxpayer money, it's ridiculous. Because of SpaceX and shit like that. Hello, dog. Hello, dog. Dog is like, why are you not paying attention to me? Yes. All right, I'm gonna go put on tea, and I will be right back, y'all. Okay. I have to see this section when the YouTube video comes out. I don't know if I'll do a YouTube video. I should probably do one. So, Alex Jones, famed conspiracy theorist, another person I talked about in my anti-Semitism video, is getting his assets liquidated. And famously, came to his studio, I guess, to find the doors locked. I haven't been able to, outside of listening to some Knowledge Fight, we're going to go through InfoWars website in a little bit and actually watch some of his broadcasts that he's been doing. Because he's not taking it well.
to say the least. A federal judge on Friday ordered the liquidation of conspiracy theorist Alice Jones. I was about to say Alice Jones again. Good God. $10 from Memmy. Good God, y'all. Thank you so much for all the support. JD Vance just posted about deporting 20 million immigrants. It's scary being an immigrant and the left telling me it won't happen, but they won't vote. Love you all. We love you too. A federal judge on Friday ordered the liquidation of conspiracy theorist Alex Jones's personal assets, but dismissed his company's separate bankruptcy case, leaving the immediate future of his InfoWars media platform uncertain, as he owes $1.5 billion for his false claims that the Sandy Hook elementary school shooting was a hoax. Now, I need to show y'all something really quick. Also, I apologize for why is there not a... I just want to go and get... Where's... All right, whatever. Give me a second. Don't know why I couldn't find that from Google. Now, you'll notice here, Alex Jones has been shilling Dr. Jones Naturals a lot. The reason for that is that he can sell all of his dipshit products. Alex Jones sells all the vitamins.
We have the vitamins and minerals you need, folks. These are great vitamins. They're good for your family. Good to eat with your breakfast and eat at night. I have 3 of them myself every morning, and I haven't had a bowel movement in 4 days, and it's rapidly increased my productivity, folks.
Now, Alex will shill these shitty products, which are usually just relabeled cheap stuff bought from China, under Dr. Jones Naturals. Right now, he is using that essentially as a shell company to do business out of, as opposed to InfoWars, which he's trying to make look as poor and impoverished as possible. You'll see that because he continually always links Dr. Jones Naturals now first. Dr. Jones Naturals. On things that are on InfoWars. Like drjonesnaturals.com is not InfoWars. His father owns this business, which is why he gets to do this. He's essentially using his father's ownership of a different business to continue making money after the lawsuit. Right? It's goop for men. God, I wish. Quiet Kitsune. Is there an additional penalty for trying to hide assets when you have a large settlement to pay? I don't know, but I think Alex Jones might find out. Like, here's the thing. It's not like he's hiding it well. It's not like something that it's an unknown quantity, you know? I need to get this. My crane keeps picking up the shadow onto my face. I'm sorry. I'm so snacky today. I went on a long run this morning. I feel like I haven't eaten enough yet. Now,
Judge Christopher Lopez approved converting Jones's proposed personal bankruptcy reorganization to a liquidation, but threw out the case of his company, Austin, Texas-based Free Speech Systems, after failed attempts by Jones to reach an agreement with Sandy Hook families on his proposals to reorganize and keep operating while paying them millions of dollars. It wasn't immediately clear what will happen in the coming weeks to free speech, InfoWars parent company, which Jones built into a multi-million-dollar moneymaker over the past 25 years by selling dietary supplements and other products. But both Jones and lawyers for the Sandy Hook families say they expect InfoWars to cease operating at some point because of the huge debt. You love to see it, folks. You love to see it. Now, Jones, of course, because much like Nick Fuentes, they cannot accept that, like, there's consequences for their actions. Just like with Nick Fuentes getting kicked out because he's a Nazi, because he's advocated open violence, he's going to tell his audience that, oh, the reason we're kicked out is because we're anti-Israel, is because the Jews control everything. And this actually proves how I'm right. Similarly, Alex Jones is about saying,
well, this is, the globalists are trying to take me off there. They know, folks, that I'm the one that's keeping you informed, and you are the frontline soldiers on the info war.
And so he tells his audience that, oh, they know the truth, and that makes them special. And he will literally go, it's like, if you have ever fucking seen his ad transitions, they're fucking nuts. He will go from like,
the globalists want you and your family dead, and that's why they want me off the air. But I'm not going down without a fight, goddammit, and that's why you need our supplements. Dr. Jones Naturals, 25% off right now. These are our lowest prices of the season. You will not believe. They will make your hair grow back. They will cure your arthritis. Folks, you absolutely need these products.
Yeah, tip of the spear. That's another one. Tip of the spear is another one that he loves to do. So here we hear that. Quote, "This is about taking me off the air," Jones said. "Understand that what you've seen in the corporate media about me or what I said about Sandy Hook or any of this has no bearing on reality." It literally does. Like, the shit you said led to people getting harassment over their dead children for years. "Today is a good day," Matei said in a text message after the hearing. "Alex Jones has lost ownership of InfoWars, the corrupt business he used for years to attack the Connecticut families and so many others. Alex Jones is neither a martyr nor a victim. He is the perpetrator of the worst defamation in American history." Excuse me. Many of Jones's personal... Let me finish chewing before I talk. Many of Jones's personal assets will be sold off, but his primary home in the Austin area and some other belongings are exempt from bankruptcy liquidation. He already has moved to sell his Texas ranch, worth about $2.8 million, a gun collection, and other assets to pay debts. He had a tank for a while there. Wonder if he had to sell the Freedom Crusher, whatever the fuck it was. It was an APC. Battle, yeah, this thing. Battle tank, as Proud Boys join him at Virginia. Good God, Virginia gun rights rally. Jones has about $9 million in personal assets, according to the most recent financial filings. Free Speech Systems has about $6 million in cash on hand and about $1.2 million worth of inventory, the chief restructuring officer appointed by the court to run the company during the bankruptcy. During Friday's hearing, lawyers for the Sandy Hook families repeated claims that Jones illegally diverted millions of dollars both before and during the bankruptcies and questioned his sending his audiences to his father's website. Oh, what were we just talking about? The families have a pending lawsuit accusing Jones of illegally diverting money, which he denies, and said they will continue efforts to claw it back. They filed for bankruptcy in 2022 when relatives of many victims of the 2012 shooting that killed 20 first graders and 6 educators won lawsuit judgments of more than $1.4 billion in Connecticut and $49 million in Texas. Jones is appealing the judgments in the state courts. All right, so I'm going to go get my tea. My tea should be ready, fill up my water, and then we're going to dive into
the info war.
Okay, here we go. I can't spill the tea if I don't have tea. All right, now, chat, are you
ready to go into the info war with your host, Alex Jones?
No, I was about to just look up Alex Jones. Owing his parents $50 million. Verify I'm human. Bongo Goat. Thank you, Gwenifer. Popping up with bongo goats. Oh, he sells colloidal silver for sure. For sure. For sure, for sure. Oh, you know what? It's not, yeah, that's actually, band.video, that's what it is. All right, the war room with Owen Schroyer. All right, let's see. Who do we got? Trump raises alarm over World War III. All right, let me go back a couple days. Feds failed to take over InfoWars 2 days ago. Learn the full story. All right, he was malding then. And they aren't feds. It was a state thing. God, this is so poorly organized. Why is this? Does it even have a? Oh, it's hot. I want organized by new. Would you believe what's Knowledge Fight going to do if Alex Jones stops? I mean, like, Dan and Jordan are wonderful, and I think they've already started branching out into their own, with stuff covering like Tucker, and collaborating with collaborating with the QAnon Anonymous guys and stuff like that. Like they are talented journalists and likable personalities in their own right. They don't necessarily need Alex Jones anymore, I feel. They could carry on and do like Nick Fuentes, which would be great because it would just be like, I want, for those who don't know, QAnon Anonymous and Knowledge Fight, Jordan on Knowledge Fight needs to get with, God, I'm blanking on his name. Who are the hosts of? Not Crit. It's not Jake. Julian Field. Jordan from the Alex Jones Show needs to get with Julian Field because both of them have had extended periods where their respective showrunners have to bleep and censor them because they'll just go on unhinged violent fantasies about like, this person needs to get this shoved up this and needs to be shot out of a cannon. And no, I seriously think, and like they're doing it as a joke, but like as a joke. And I could listen to hours. Jordan, aka screaming in the background as Dan talks. Yeah. Hoop6, I was interviewed on an episode of QAA. Which one? Who? I've probably heard it multiple times. I'm actually just finishing up another listen through of QAnon Anonymous because I go through I'm trying to diversify. 5 hours ago. Where the fuck? All right. I can't even. All right, let me go. Let's just look up the Alex Jones show, I guess. No, it's not gonna. All right, can I just go to the Alex Jones show or no? That's just the crazy lady talking about shit. All right, 4 days ago. Talks Alex Jones, spiritual warfare. 3 days ago. I want like 6-7 days ago. But my computer will not load it. 6 days ago. There we go. All right, maybe it's that one. Epic rant. This stuff is not on YouTube. Or unless Blue X, are you asking, is it better to watch?
It is a blessing to be real. It's a blessing to tell the truth. It's a blessing to know I'm real. Every day when I go to sleep, every day when I get up, damn it, I can look in the mirror and say, that's a real American right there. My grandparents and their parents would be proud of me, and they are. Not a bunch of crap like these New World Order pedophile devil worshippers. I'm a straight shooter all the way, and I love it. It's my identity. It's everything. It's my entire soul. It's my value. And that's what they don't like.
Oh, I did not like that Captain Spaulding look into the fucking camera. Just like that was a little, that was, oof, buddy. All right, y'all, I'll crank it down for y'all.
Yeah! Woo! I get to defend my family and humanity. I get to have the worst people on earth come after me. That's not a curse. That is a blessing. And they can.
Now, what we're seeing here, and this is important to note, is that Alex, again, like we were saying with Nick Fuentes, is he has to turn his losses into some kind of victory, right? And one of Alex's best, like his real old faithful is going back to, well, if we're over the target, you know, if I'm getting attacked on all sides, I must be doing something right, which is kind of foolproof if you're working in the conservative space because, A, there's always going to be conservatives in your area that don't like you, even if you are a conservative. We saw it most recently with the N-word TikTok girl. Who is just getting like roasted now because she's trying to like spin that into being a conservative influencer, which is fucking embarrassing. But it also works on the people who are already on your side, right? Because it assures them that they too, like, oh no, I'm right because my family doesn't invite me to Thanksgiving dinner anymore. Actually, my family doesn't want me involved in anything because I'm morally correct, and they'll see. And it's really it's again, Alex Jones is the perfect way to end all this shit. Because despite the world constantly proving to them that they are factually incorrect, like put aside politics, people like Nick Fuentes and Alex Jones are at their basic core factually wrong about shit, and they use it to justify their villainy. Like they use their prejudices to justify making money and getting a platform. Like that is how they do it, right? Put that aside for a second. And they need to keep doing this shit, right? Alex cannot. At some point, I feel like Alex has to. Excuse me, sorry. Or Alex's audience, at least some of them, have to get wise to this. I know I'm wrong about this, and it's likely not true. Like, they never will pick up on it. They never will get wise to it. Because they haven't already. Like, if they were, I feel like they would have done it by now. But it does the soul good to see such evil people, even if it has taken this long, be worn down to this level. Because I feel like subliminally that tells you that there is a sense of justice in the world, or in the universe, or in the grand calculus of everything that we do. I'm a fish. Hey, I want to say I appreciate your videos. Thank you very much. I recently began watching you and some other left-leaning YouTubers because I wanted to understand other viewpoints. I find I actually agree with many of the points you make. I also really liked your Pride speech video, as I myself am not out to more than 2 of my close friends, I guess this chat room now, and your speech made me feel seen, so thank you for that and cared for. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I hope you have a wonderful time in here. Iclonus at Dead Domain, I feel at this point it's the only the people who are too deep to climb out by themselves. Yeah. And that's what I was got. I went off on a tangent there and I forgot what I was going to say. But no. That is what unites all of these conspiracies, right? Is like we've talked about how they're the modern conspiracy infrastructure. I want to do a conspiracy iceberg video, like of modern conservative conspiracies, because there are so many different ones to go down, right? But especially when you get to this kind of sunk cost fallacy that you see a lot, I think is really what it is. And you see it in what used to be QAnon, and QAnon is kind of fractured into its own weird thing, and into a number of different movements. Like during the pandemic and everything, Q was made up of, like, there were small parts of the Q movement that were like just like at-home moms and mommy bloggers who had gotten into like the child sex trafficking and Pizzagate shit and had been sucked in through there. And then there were people who came to Q through like the Trump movement shit. And there were some like white nationalist elements. Like it's all just a series of concentric circles that are all kind of overlapping in some ways, but in ways that allow people to kind of still have their own feeling of identity. Right? Like you can be a Q person and be like, oh, well, I don't necessarily think Trump is like the best guy. Or you can be a Christian nationalist and be like, well, I think that Q stuff is a little bit ridiculous. But at the end of the day, a lot of the belief systems are exactly the same. And one thing uniting all of those is this kind of sunk cost idea of one day we'll be right. One day I'll show everybody. One day, they'll all wish they had listened to me. And we've seen that in QAnon land, with people being like, oh, well, my family, they don't invite me to Thanksgiving anymore. They don't know what's coming for them. They don't understand the Great Awakening, and I'm just scared for them. And you see it in Nick Fuentes in the comment sections. Like, you can go to Twitter right now. And I had somebody threaten me earlier today on Twitter with somebody saying, in a year, when we take power, you'll be arrested, me, because I'm queer. And that is a more violent form of it, but that's just a different form of, oh, you'll see when we're right. That is the shit underpinning so much of what Alex does for a lot of people. And you can see it in, again, I cannot express enough to go watch Knowledge Fight. Go listen to Knowledge Fight. Because if there's one great thing to talk about with Knowledge Fight, it's how easy it is for people to be led astray by somebody simply saying, I proved this a year or two ago. Like if I say it to you right now, chat, if I say in a video I did, whether you remember it or not, because I have videos that are multiple hours long, you might not remember every bit of it, but if I say, hey, I proved factually, beyond a shadow of the doubt, in my anti-Semitism video that Nick Fuentes is into puppy play. Now, knowing everything we know about Nick Fuentes, that might sound correct. And if, like Alex, I had been on air for 20 years doing 4+ hours of content nearly every day, well, sure, of course, I trust Alex. I would trust the person saying, like, Nick Fuentes is into puppy play. Now, have I actually done that? And you, as a viewer, are you going to go back and check? Are you going to check my work when you already trust me? Odds are probably not, and you should. You should do that for any content creator, if you ever have a doubt. But Alex uses that. He knows that his audience, by and large, will not do that, and uses that to his advantage. So he gets to say, I've been right about these things all along. Which is why Knowledge Fight is so useful, because they actually have done the just ridiculous amount of legwork to show, no, he kind of hasn't. Like, he's almost never right about anything. Ooh, that's good. I got this tea of Hitman Rula, so he lies basically. Yeah, he is a, I mean, like, yeah, the lawsuit is over him lying. Like, the lawsuit about the Sandy Hook children is because he is a massive liar. Like, that is it. You are correct. Yeah, ZJW74. Yeah, their work was used by, it was actually kind of funny because Mark, what's his name? Mark Bankston is the lawyer for the Sandy Hook families. And, I was watching a video with a boy. I was over at his house and we were watching some YouTube stuff, and Mark Bankston was interviewed on like Channel 13 News, and I knew him by name as soon as I saw him. I was like, oh, Mark Bankston. Oh my God. I'm such a fan. And the boy was surprised, like, wait, you know the lawyer by name? And I was like, yeah, like, he's the fucking GOAT. And later on, I think somebody mentioned he's handling the Elon case as well. I saw it was the Elon deposition where he made Elon look like a total dipshit. That came out on Twitter, and I tagged the boy in that and was like, see, I told you he's the fucking GOAT. I told you he's the GOAT. But I was saying, I went to a farmer's market, and I got this. I don't usually go for loose leaf tea, but I think my ex-wife left a little loose leaf like strainer container thing. So I decided to try it because there's this local tea brand. I'd never seen it before, never had it, and it was the most flavorful tea because they had little samplers out. And it was meant to be iced, but I've been making it hot. It's just as good. It's like a ginger cardamom thing. It is so goddamn good. So goddamn good. Incredibly gingery. Anywho, let us continue watching Alex Jones and his descent into madness. Now, part of this, the other thing to having listened to now hundreds, vicariously through Knowledge Fight, but listen to hundreds of hours of Alex Jones. There are certain things you pick up on, like when he's being genuine, which seems rare to me. I think Alex Jones is a prime case of somebody who has lost themselves in the performance. Like, I do not think, I think he reacted at one point positively to the positive reinforcement that his fan base was giving him for being impassioned, for yelling and getting loud on air. And then just eventually that just became, like, he became the performance of that. And I think we see that here a little bit.
You put me in prison and torture me to death and cut my head off. I don't give a damn about them, because there ain't nothing on earth they got I want. I want victory. I want to get these scumbags off our backs, and we will, and they know it, because there's a wavelength and a spirit I've got that you've got. And we resonate together, and they know we're the fire starters in the minds of men and women that Thomas Jefferson talked about. InfoWars is the flamethrower. It's the hydrogen bomb dropped on their lies. It's the fire of God's truth coming down on them, and they don't know what to do because they're worshipers of Baal. They can pray all day, and they can't get a spark out of the sky. When we pray to God and do it in earnest and do it in courage, fire rains from heaven. And they know it, and they can feel it, and they understand. We will never surrender to their Satanism. We will never become their... If you looked at the Antifa and the Satanist, have you looked to the left like zombies drooling? Who the hell would want to be like that? What type of God do you serve? I mean, it's not even like, oh, I have to hold myself back from not selling out. It's the opposite. They are repugnant. They are anathema. They are repellent. Like, it's like, you ever been out in the country, and one of the jobs is, you got a dead cow or a dead horse rotting, to get it out of the field, put it in a gullet.
The other thing that people don't understand, because Alex Jones, for a lot of people, I think people see Alex Jones as like the haha funny meme man. Like, oh, he's the making the frogs gay and talking about like 5G and microchips and Bill Gates and George Soros and all that shit. He's a deeply sadistic person. I do want to give a content warning for this next part because I know it's coming up. Like a deeply sadistic person. He has a streak of wanton violence and like craving that violence that should betray any time he says, oh, we want love and we want peace and we just want everybody to get along, get together. Because he has gone on some of the most unhinged violent fantasies I've ever heard. Like, truly awful shit. And yeah, so let's continue watching some of this cope and just keep that in mind, right?
Or whatever. It attracts more coyotes, and it's just not a good thing, and just spreads disease. So, you know, I've done it a few times, dead horses, dead cows. Sometimes.
Also, good God, I know I'm getting some like forehead wrinkles, but I really hope I never get this bad. Like he looks like the butt face that Palpatine has on his forehead for episode 3. Like this. Right? Look at that. Alex. That's dead on, right? That's not... That's fucking crazy. Like...
They've been dead a week. There's maggots all over. You got to get out of the tractor. You know, there was a big old chain tied around the legs.
All right, so also, I don't believe that he's ever done this shit. He's talking about like moving a dead horse on a farm. I do not believe this story has ever happened. This is just a weird fantasy of masculinity that he loves to do this shit all the time too. Again, I cannot express. Listening to Knowledge Fight gives such a great insight into who he is as a person, and it's been extremely beneficial for understanding like other kinds of arguments on the right wing, but specifically Alex Jones and how multifaceted his lies are and where they come from, because they're so deeply rooted in his masculine insecurity, which like shouldn't be surprising. But he just makes shit up all the time. All the time. There was a recent show where he talked about being beaten up by 4 or 5 dudes and he fought them all off at the same time when he was younger. And it's like, no, just no. Come on.
Sometimes the leg pulls off halfway where you're going. It's just like the most disgusting. You know, oh my God, there's a possum inside the guts eating. They'll go up their ass, be eating inside. Possum's in there. Leg pulls off. Possum looks up out of all the guts and everything.
Epic Rant, by the way, is the name.
And you know, that's my job. Is the worst part about it is I gotta like literally dragging those dead animals around.
No, I think. See, here's the thing. I think he's actually right. That is his job, but he's not the person pulling the dead horse. He's the possum that went up the dead horse's ass. Like, Alex got it right. He just didn't frame it correctly.
And having to tie chains around all those rotting flesh and maggots is 1% out of 100 as bad as it is just looking at leftists. Being around these leftist lawyers and they think they're powerful, they're serving Satan. I'm just looking at a big, rotting, dead cow. Or a dead horse with maggots. I spiritually see them like all maggots all over. I'm thinking how pathetic they are.
Oh, I was listening to an episode of podcast where
deadly shots if they got them, and how they serve the system and Satan. And I'm just sitting there holding my spiritual nose, just going, I mean, you think you're powerful over me? I see you, a rotting pile of flesh, spiritual rot right in front of me. When my mind's in the stars.
Yeah, like people are pointing out. Remember when I talked about how like this shit never happened? People are pointing out in chat, like, horses are very big animals and they have very strong and sturdy muscles. The amount of time it would take for a horse to decay to the point where just dragging it would have a leg fall off is like ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What are you talking about?
And infinity and just endless beauty and interfacing with God and discernment and psych.
Oh, fuck. Also, I completely forget. Another thing people don't get. Again, Alex Jones is not like Tim Pool or Dave Rubin or fucking like Matt Walsh or Ben Shapiro and anybody. He talks regularly about receiving what he calls downloads from God. As in, he sincerely believes that God talks to him. So that is rigor mortis erasure. That's one reason. Yeah. Draxus, another great point. You don't normally discover a rotting horse that's been long dead. Yeah, it's like if a horse were to die, if you were to take, as somebody who grew up, I've talked about how I grew up. I did not grow up on a ranch, but I grew up going to family farms every summer and helping out around the farm. They didn't have horses, but they had cows, and the cows would go off and they had like a huge ass room to roam, and they would bring them back in and let them back out. But like, it wasn't a massive cattle farm. They had less than 10 cows. So, you know, it was just a couple. It was probably closer to 6. I don't know. I remember there being a lot when I was a kid, but it probably wasn't actually that many. Now I'm just trying to think about how many cows my family had. I think it was like 6, whatever. But like at that point, for a smaller ranch, you know how many animals you have. So if one goes missing, you notice. So like you were saying, Draxus, rigor mortis might set him, but like you're gonna know the animal like is missing. You should.
Power and will and just everything that God would have.
KG Bogula, how you become a libtard if you work on farm though? That's so true. I don't know. I'm somehow like that testosterone just didn't go anywhere. I did. I was out there like how old would I have been? I would have been less than 13. Yeah, I was like 11 or 12 helping with baling hay and shit. I remember at the time hay bales being the like fucking heaviest thing in the world. I was like, oh, how does anybody lift these ever? And then years later I would help again and I would be like, oh, this shit was way easier than I remembered.
have given you, and instead you're a pile of rotting flesh. You are your father's child. You are death. And behold, I saw the horse, pale, the rider, and his name was Death. Pull up Revelation, the pale horse.
He probably is fucked up. He probably is fucked up. He probably is drunk. I'm not lying.
Re-upload to X the destruction of the Georgia Guidestones. That should be put back. Now, that's an animal that's been dead about 2 weeks. That's not as bad. They're the worst when they've swollen up and are all plump. I only probably hauled off 10 dead animals in my work on ranches. I didn't do anything compared to most cowboys, but I've done a few years total work with summers than one whole year. And yeah, when you, oh my God, you pull up with one that's got like 100,000 maggots all over it. Woo! It ain't too fun. And that's what I think of all of you, Hillary Clinton, AOC, all of you lawyers. I look at you and you're a pile of stinking rotten flesh, and you know you are. So why don't you smell yourself? And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was
This
Death,
is just what
and hell
InfoWars
followed
is,
him,
by the way.
And power was given unto
like if you ever see Tucker Carlson or anybody
them
on
over a fourth part
on
of the
Twitter
earth
being like,
to
"Oh, I
kill
can't
with
believe
the
they're
sword
coming
and
for
hunger
Alex
and
Jones. Like what a scion, what a just amazing portrait of honesty and truth." It's like this is what InfoWars is like all the fucking time.
Infowars.com/show and share.
I'm already on here. Good God.
When you're honest about that, it can be reversed. And that's Disney versus Vid Angels, the big one. Disney versus Vid Angels. So I'd love to be sitting here in a couple months and then all this corruption comes out and it gets reversed. And they've got to do a reasonable settlement with us, even though I didn't do anything of the things they said. And people are like, hey, you said we're going to get shut down. You didn't. I mean, I'd love to pull a rabbit out of a hat. But I was on with Glenn Beck, and you know, obviously his legal team, he's really smart, brought this up to me today.
I didn't expect.
And they said, this isn't legal. And there's more case law coming in right now. So
he just looks tired as fuck.
It wasn't legal without
like
a court order to try to
and
shut us down.
a little drunk.
9 days ago, not this Friday, but last Friday. I mean, what I'm saying is we're not in Kansas anymore. There is a hysteria in the establishment that I want to explain. I'm not the gas in the mine, I'm the canary. And when natural gas is in a deep mine and it starts building up, going back hundreds of years ago, 100 years ago, they didn't have sensors that would pick up natural gas, but a canary can't handle hardly any natural gas. It'll kill it. Whereas humans can handle it to a certain level. And then you light a cigarette, boom, you're all dead. So I immediately, when this happened, went, okay, wait a minute. This is canary in the coal mine. This isn't us. Everybody's like, oh my God, Alex, it's so hard. How are you taking it? I'm like, we got to get ready. They're about to do something to Trump. They're so crazy. They want this show out the air. They know I've got their number. For whatever reason,
remember what I said?
The CIA, the FBI are on record saying that I'm the worst, countering them, that I'm patient zero.
And again, remember, when that is exactly the same thing he does when he's like, oh, we proved this years ago, is when he says the CIA are on record. Oh, they said this in the court documents, the FBI. It's all been revealed and all been released. We have the things he loves, a fucking refrain he loves to bring out is we have the documents, folks, and he'll talk about how we're gonna like reveal them in the next hour. Never fucking does. He never fucking does. Like ever. It's just another lie that for his audience that has already bought into this bullshit. They've already paid the admission. They're sitting down. They're like, okay, yeah, of course, like, obviously. Like, Alex wouldn't lie to me. I'm going to go buy his supplements.
That I've got to be countered. And so they want me out of the way. Are they about to kill Trump? About to do a cyber attack? I don't know, but it is not a good sign, okay? I mean, let's just remember, like, wow, this is going to make your show bigger. This is incredible. They've got something planned imminently. And I talked to more of the crew today.
So he is now advocating for false flags. He is saying the globalists. Now, whoever that is, because we can call anybody a globalist, right? You can say anybody is a globalist because they're against you. If they're against Trump, if they're against Americana, if they're for the deep state, then they're a globalist. It doesn't actually, like, there's no
coherent rubric for what entails a globalist. It's just that you can call anybody a globalist. And yeah.
That aren't gossips and aren't troublemakers about the CRO. And I did a canvas of them. And they went, oh my God, he comes in all the time, but he doesn't want to stir up trouble. That's the court-appointed guy. He says, you know, you shouldn't be on the air. You should be arrested. The vaccine's wonderful. I'm a liar about 9/11. I'm a racist.
Oh, sorry. The thing I was going to say, I got sidetracked because there's so many damn tangents this guy goes down. Him saying that the globalists are planning false flags, that they're going to use a false flag against Trump or against him or whatever, as if he's on the same wavelength as Trump, which no. The entire reason he is in this position with the Sandy Hook parents was because he would not stop calling Sandy Hook a false flag. He continually called and said it was a false flag attack. This is, in essence, the exact same shit that is getting him taken off the air. That is getting him sued for billions.
Critical race theory is good. White privilege is bad. He's a white guy. And it's just a way to mess with the crew. So we're going to get all the testimonies. We're going to get it all. Don't you worry. And I've got appeals on for these fake judgments and everything, and so they know that
the judgments are very real, Alex. They're not fake.
Federal judge is going to put some fly in their ointment this Friday. I don't know what's going to happen, but let me tell you, running in here trying to shut this place down on the blue, and the weeks before him running around talking trash, and nobody wants to really tell me that because they want their job, but they're like, now that they all see it, they go, yeah, man, he's. And I was told this like a year ago. He was talking trash. But again, it's not about talking trash. I got really thick skin. I don't give a damn about him not liking me. But the point is that shows the type of person we're dealing with. We know is working with the Democrats and the committee, because they came in and said, we want a committee over this. They had the Justice Department involved and all this stuff. The judge said, fine, put all the bells and whistles on it. Have your outside investigations, have the Justice Department involved, have your committee.
I really...
And I told you the other day, it was like, by some people that,
I've listened to this before, but I have not watched it, but like, he is not...
Now that's why they're just going to shut you down. They would see if you'd work with them, but now you aren't, so you're going to learn.
He is...
How dare me not
like, really not doing well.
How dare me? I mean, it's ridiculous. And now they're in the news
like, he looks like shit.
He won't let us run his company.
And how old is he again? He's 50. He looks it. I would say in his 60s. But
we don't just want money, want to control him. It's a non-starter. But again, the canary fell over. The canary's dead. So what does that mean? Well, the mine is America and the world. And the world's waking up fast, but that...
Mr. Hot Indian Guy, $5, thank you. I would never ever fact check you. I don't think you would ever lie to me. Please sell me your estrogen supplements, thanks. I need those. Makes
the globalists attack even
faster. Go to Planned Parenthood.
So we can be shut down any time. And when people are doing stuff this reckless and this dangerous and this crazy, God only knows what they're about to pull. So follow me on Real Alex Jones for now. We've had a lot of people reach out to us and, offer us, for us to come work for them under the law. Can't stop somebody working. You try to grab any money I make, fine, I don't care. I'm pretty easy to please. So again, I'm wearing like a 5, 6, 7-year-old $10 shirt right now. I wear blue jeans. They got holes in them. I'm really easy to deal with.
Which is why he has a multi-million-dollar ranch and had multiple houses, and why he has a massive expensive gun collection. This is another thing. He likes to portray this as a small operation, because that, again, if I tell y'all oh, I'm barely hanging in here, I need some cash to get me through, you guys believe that because we've established something of a relationship. You being my viewers me being the person who is giving you entertainment and content. And he uses that on a massive scale. Like it is not like, hey, y'all, I'm having trouble with my bills this month. I'm not, by the way. I'm fine. I just need enough to close the gap for rent. It's not like that. He is saying about a multi-million-dollar operation, we need your support. Buy our products. They're all 50% off right now. This is the lowest price of the season. And yeah, and somebody else brought up in the chat, he goes on vacation all the time. Yeah. Like he just went, and he loves to write them off as business expenses, but he just fucking went to Hawaii for 2 weeks or something. It's insane.
A watch my dad gave me 15 years ago. Why do you wear a Rolex? I bought my dad a tag. He was honored. He liked it. And one Christmas, he gave me a green Rolex. And who knew it would become the most popular Rolex, and now sells for 5 times what he bought it for. He bought this Rolex for $4,000. It goes for $35,000 today. I'm not even into fancy stuff, but I love this watch now. Part of my body. I've been wearing it so long. But my point is it's sentimental. And that's why it's very valuable to me. But just like this operation, and just like freedom is 1 trillion times more valuable.
Just like freedom is so valuable. And you know what? I bet the grieving process of parents whose children died because assholes like you don't want the government to come take your guns. So any psycho can walk off the street and gun down 20 school children, and then because of your dumb bullshit, they were not allowed to actually grieve their dead children. I bet that grieving was pretty fucking sentimental. That they will never have now. That now, over a decade later, their grief can only bring up the idea of your dumbass fat tomato head sitting talking about how all their children weren't really ever there, and they were all crisis actors, and it was all staged to grab the guns. So to the point where you had crazy ass InfoWars listeners tracking down the gravestones of these kids, going and harassing the families in person. So fucking forgive me, Alex, if I don't give a fuck about your goddamn Rolex watch.
My children, 1 trillion times more valuable than this watch. It means nothing to me compared to my integrity. And so they think we're like them. They think if they take stuff from us and attack us, again, I've studied the globalists now. I know everything about them, basically. I've been learning exponentially. And 30 years ago, I knew more than most people. Now I know more than almost anybody.
Exponentially is, I believe, specifically, it's a rapid rate of growth, right? It's when the graph line goes like that. Yeah. It is a massive and rapid rate of growth. Exponential growth for Alex, in terms of learning, would him just learning be just him learning another thing. If he's learning about something exponentially, it's just him learning one thing.
And I know a lot of you are super smart and know more than I do, but the point is that they, with their intimidation and their attacks and their demonization and all the things they've done to us over the years, thought, oh, we've intimidated them, that's why they're rolling over. No, 99% of people that were being bullied were asleep and just thought this is just happening. They didn't know why it was happening. Now that people know they're being bullied, now that they know they're being robbed, now that they know they're being screwed on purpose, people are pissed. This is unfair. This is crazy. This is wrong. Now the actuaries are out, 35 million dead from the poison shots.
Ooh, Mandy Gux, I was called for jury duty at the same courthouse around the same time. They were starting jury selection. We were all dismissed because there was another case that was settled out of court. Man.
You're like, why has it been 22 million for a year? Now it's 35. Because you only get the numbers once a year. That's how statistics work. And they come in months and months after the other year ended. So it took 6 months for the 2023 numbers to come in. It's 35 mil dead now from the shots. It was 22 mil dead in 2022. It was about 9 million dead in 2021. I mean, they are frickin' killing everybody.
Do you remember when 9 million people died from the shots? Nine million people died from the COVID shots. The COVID pandemic listed as an underlying cause in 400,000 deaths during 2021. Less than 500,000 people, fucking lot of people, too many that we could have prevented, but less than 500,000. But apparently, 9 million people died from the shot, which I don't know if y'all remember 2021, but people were freaking out because we didn't have enough like freezers to house bodies when COVID first kicked off. So if you're telling me that you multiply that several times over and then multiply it again to get 9 million dead, I feel like I would remember the fucking dead, like just people falling dead in the streets. Of course, like it's just a fucking like ridiculous.
So when my dad was growing up, and his dad was John Wayne.
Oh, Xenothius, also dead domain. Hello, I have never heard of you before, but said screw it because I was on a queer content binge. Imagine my surprise when I see a visibly queer person watching Alex Jones. I appreciate your tenacity to sift through the muck with your own hands. If you've never heard of me, this is kind of my brand, sifting through the muck with my bare hands. I recommend go watch my YouTube channel where I have such videos as what are some of my highlights? I interviewed homophobes at Pride. My other bangers are I did this documentary on the lies of the Satanic Temple. I went to CPAC, the largest gathering of conservatives of the year, undercover as a conservative man. And I went undercover into a hate church that said trans people should die. So I have a lot of history. Go check out Dead Domain on YouTube because I put in the work when it comes to sifting through the muck. Oh, Xenothius, if you like Very Tall Bart in my recommendations, he actually pops into this chat every now and again. Other people have seen him. And we're mutuals on Twitter, not to brag too much.
For real, tough, hard work, and amazing. God, I said blessed to have those grandfathers. It was just amazing. They're my rock stars. And my dad would barely complain about something. His dad would say, I complained I had no shoes till I saw a man who had no feet. I complained I had no feet till I saw a man who had no legs. And he would explain to him, being a victim and feeling sorry for yourself is the root of all weakness and failure and unhappiness. And
that's literally what you're doing, though. Like you are literally you are playing the victim card. Just the amount of cognitive dissonance is redonkulous. Like, I don't even know how you square this circle, you know? Humble brag and decept, true combo. Quiet Kitsune DD putting in serious effort sifting through the muck so you don't have to, or less so. It's an absolute treasure and service. Thank you all. Oh yeah, the section where I was on Grindr at CPAC that still might be one of my favorite, like, it's certainly my favorite cliffhanger for any video. Like, just just ending an hour-and-a-half video on my time at CPAC with saying, oh yeah, I've been on Grindr this whole time, had so many people like freaking out. Yeah, I was very happy with how CPAC turned out. Like that was a massive risk for me, and I'm so glad it worked out.
That is the answer to all of this. When I'm getting persecuted and attacked, on a scale of 1 to 100, it's not even a 1. But them shipping weapons to bomb Russia is a 90. Mass border open, human trafficking of little children, forced sex slavery, Senate report, nothing happens. That's a 95. I mean, folks, an end of the world's 100. I mean, the crime being committed is so massive, so gargantuan, so titanic, so behemoth, that the fact that they're so out in the open, it just shows you this is crazy town. Absolute, total crazy town. And so, again, the attack on us is a symptom of the disease. But it says, why do they want it off the air so much?
Xenothius, congratulations on starting E 5 days ago. Everybody in chat, send out some goats to Xenothius. That is a big milestone. Proud of you. I am. I'm not just... Oh, we're at 666 viewers right now. I'm sure somebody left in between there, but between our 2 Twitch streams, it's meant to be. I'm just yawning because I'm tired. All right, I don't know, y'all. I think I've had enough of Alex Jones's waffling. I feel like we've talked as much about him as I think we need to. I do want to see, I know Very Tall Bart did a new video I want to check out, and we can do we haven't done some just like nice, cool, chill down videos in a minute. Let us do Banana Brains. Post it in chat, Banana Brains. Or we could go over and bomb Synthetic Man stream. You're good, Banana Brains. I'm going to click on it.
November 15th. I remember all the dates. November 15th was the first time I said I love you to my wife, and she said thank you.
She said thank you.
And that lasted for about a month. That was a very awkward month. It was like I'd finish every phone call, I'd be like, love you, sweetheart.
Love you, sweetheart.
Thanks. Bye. So that was real awkward. And then I'm bent over.
I've never heard that. That's fucking nuts. That is a crazy thing to just come out and admit on Al Gore's internet. That is, I think we should know less about each other, honestly. That is... Okay, I know where this is going. All right, we can watch that in a minute. We won't listen to the whole thing, but I do like those. Those are fun.
Babbling buffoon. I can't even speak English. You the dignity. However, I can suck the cum right out of your body. And now, bend over. And then a trans Jamaican lady with a long Johnson is going to turn my bowels to scrambled eggs. Donald Trump is orange, and he has orange privilege. There is a freaking Cheeto in the White House. White bread with margarine is just the best thing since sliced bread.
You're an awful person. I would love it if you literally died. Get dying.
That was out of pocket.
I don't really care. You are attracted to children. They not like us. They not like us. They not like us. Get dominated.
When I jerk off, it's called masturbating. Wow. Who do you think was the greatest president of all time?
Blah, 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 blah. Do you understand me? I love you, Daddy.
Well, I have a date with another guy.
Don't make me commit suicide.
That's a little over the top.
No, I'm serious. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah.
What was that all about?
And he gives a Joker grin with the full teeth. He's such a disgusting liar. Truly, it's gross. He stinks. This man literally crashed into a dumpster, and then he literally shot a white police officer, and then he literally took an axe and bludgeoned to death the nefarious Batman. So this clown should be thrown in jail. I am absolutely trashed, lying out. We live in a country where throwing diapers filled with human feces at random innocent LGBTQ plus people will get you killed. Meanwhile,
the Lego Star Wars death sound you were talking about?
Straight.
The Lego Yoda?
That's crazy. I don't want fruits and veggies. What I really need is 2 gay dads to blow my back out good and hard into next Monday.
I love Coco Melon. I'm the Coco Melon kid. It's perfectly normal for a guy in this age range to watch Coco Melon. It isn't like I would masturbate to a children's show. It's not. Not intentionally, anyway.
Do your best to give a summary of Candace Owens and Ben Shapiro.
I'm just kind of really stupid and stupid.
She's dumb. The most important thing about me personally is that I am not a large person.
Good one. Ben's gonna fuck my ass, and then I'll fuck his ass. He loves to get pegged.
That's true.
Black people be like,
I'm a black person.
White people be like, you're not my money, you're not my money.
That's true.
I'm in a group chat with multiple kids. They're a bunch of morons. Yesterday, I took a crap on the beach, went to a Popeyes, ate a garbage and plywood sandwich before taking a second crap, then having sex with randos. Chris Rock was also there, and that says something. It means nothing. I love YouTube poop.
I love eating ass in a tongue-in-cheek manner. The goddamn president told me to stop eating ass, but I did not stop because I'm bad to the bone. I live in my damn car.
My fucking penis and testicles are very weird. They're a waste of space, and they're too squishy. With that said, used to be on hardball. Let me tell me, shush. So that a bit of rumble come to the shush. Democrat this place, Chris Matthews. Democrat this place, Chris Matthews. Democrat this place, Chris Matthews. Go.
Oh, that's fucking good. I do like these. These are very good. That's a freaking demon.
God, people are so evil. Why can't America wake up and beat them? Donald Trump's not perfect, but he doesn't want to hurt you and your family. Hillary and Obama want to make you poor and pathetic. We have all their white papers. They hate you. They hate prosperity. They hate God. They hate children. And goddamn them to hell. We're going to find the lever to beat these people, and they're going to be beat. Look at her sharp face. Have to look at her with that demon face. That's a frickin' demon. We're going to have President Linda Blair, people, and I'm not going to go along with it. I'm sick of these traitors. I'm sick of it. I want to evacuate this place. I'm sick of this country. Team, take your vaccines and die. It's for the children. GMO kills the rats, but it's good for you. Honeybees eat it and die, but it's good for you. You like your IQ dropping, you like to die. Government loves you, drink your fluoride. Get out of my way, I'm gonna drink Diet Coke. The government loves me. I'm calling you out, scum. I break free of your mind control, filth. They have no idea they're dealing with an out-of-control Tasmanian devil that would literally jump on top of them and gouge their eyeballs out and smash their brains all over the ground. They have no idea. I've had enough of it. I'm angry. I'm not a slave. I've broken the conditioning. It doesn't work on me. It's over for the globalist. Break the conditioning now. Destruction and hatred of all that is good. Black
this track goes
of
stupid hard.
Filth are being poured out upon our heads. This whole thing's gonna come down on us. Hope you're cozy under the black wings of the New World Order. We'll see how that works out for you. We're not drinking out of your fetid, filthy puss.
Just listen to 240 plays. Okay, let's go. 240. All right, the gloves are off. I'll start at I'll start at 144.
We've got to get rid of it. You're in the cult, bro. You're the threat to America. You are who we're at war with, you traitorous little rat. This is war, and it's the American people against you, you globalists. These people are scum who are intimidated by us because they know we're better than them. But we don't have a thirst for power like these vampires.
Yeah, Feisty Geisty, we actually have listened to that one. I remember that one.
We're going to be a sovereign nation again, dirtbag. We're going to bring our jobs back. We're going to restore the Second Amendment, dirtbag. We're going to restore the borders, traitor, enemy, bloodsucker, parasite, arrogant, pseudo-intellectual, know-it-all, little chicken neck that thinks it's better than me and my family and others that built this damn thing. We're gonna stomp your ass into the ground, you little communist piece of trash. The gloves are off. Listen, you son of a bitch. What the fuck's your problem? You want to sit here and say that I'm a goddamn fucking Russian? You get in my face with that, I'll beat your goddamn ass, you son of a bitch. You piece of shit. You fucking goddamn fucker. Listen, fuckhead. You have fucking crossed the line. Get that through your goddamn fucking head. So stop shooting your mouth off claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch? Fill your hand. I'm sorry, but I'm done. You start calling me a foreign agent, those are fucking fighting words. Excuse me. Everything.
That's so fucking good.
You goddamn son of a bitch.
I know. I just said that. I just said that loud enough. I know they heard me through the walls. Jesus Christ. That's so good. That's one of my favorite. That's one of my favorite lines of his. See, like, here's the thing. Is Alex Jones is a piece of shit. Ooh, let me see if I can. Oh, I can't. Lefty McLefterson, can you pump that in chat? I cannot. It's not showing up in the chat that I can actually copy from. And it's not, or maybe it won't let me. Thank you for the $10 though. Or Banana Brains, can you post that in the chat? What Lefty McLefterson just tipped $10 for? Kenneth Copeland, but it's metal. Okay. Wait, hang on. Somebody's asking if I've heard of Kaylin Conrad. I'm friends with Kaylin, yeah. Mr. Hot Aim Guy, have you heard of Kaylin? Yeah, we've collaborated on some God damn, is it? All right, Lefty McLefterson, do you have the? It's not. Yeah, the link doesn't show. Do you have the title of the video? I can look it up. But yeah, no. Kaylin and I we've talked about doing videos together. I think we're actually going to meet down in LA at the end of the month, for a thing with Jesse Gender. Song about Norm Pattis. Okay. YTPMV Wicked Devil. $13 ago. Damn, that is old school.
Wicked devil!
Oh, it's so good. Xenothius, that Samantha Lux video was what I watched that brought me to you. Oh, I'm so glad that Sam has videos that are leading to my channel. About 15 videos into the recommending, considering your content and circle, I find it extremely weird it took the algorithm this long to bring you to me. I think the algorithm works in, like if I have videos that are popping off, and I haven't had, it's been like a month or two since I had one that popped off, and my video lately has been popping up. I do like that. That is quite good. All right, I want to watch this Kenneth Copeland one. Oh, I think we've already watched this on stream. All right, we'll watch a little bit of it again. I don't know why a kid is playing with it.
Because we have... In the name of Jesus. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. Oh, I execute judgment on you, Satan. You destroyer. You killer. You get out. You break your power. You get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand a vaccination to come immediately. Yes.
We'll exercise judgment right now.
Because we have...
In the name of Jesus.
Oh, thank you,
Jesus. Standing in the office of the prophet of God, I execute judgment on you, COVID-19. I execute judgment on you, Satan. You destroyer. You killer. You get out. You break your power. You get off this nation. I demand judgment on you. I demand a vaccination to come immediately. Yes. I call you done. I call you gone. You come down from your place of authority, destroyer. You come down and you crawl on your belly like God commanded you when he put his foot on your head in the Garden of Eden. You will destroy through COVID-19. No more!
No more. No more.
It is finished. It is over. And the United States of America is healed and well again, saith the mighty.
Hallelujah. Glory.
Now that goes fucking... Do we want to talk... I forgot to mention it. So I am... For those who don't know, I've been in metal bands before. Like, I've been a singer before. Do we want... Because the last time I think I brought this stuff up in chat and we watched or listened to a performance of mine was like one of my first streams, I think. Do y'all want to hear me sing Hell's Bells? I have one. It's here's the thing. It's a bad recording, but it is a good version of the song. It is slightly pitched down. Let me see if I can find it real quick, and I'll just play it through the video speakers. Where is that? There it is. Alright, give me a second. Make sure that's planned. Setting up. Okay. All right. I think I got it. Wait, let me make sure it's playing. There it goes. I don't have the, I only have audio, no video. Yeah, sorry y'all. I wish I had video, but just audio, no video. I don't care if I'm hearing it out of tune, but it's probably quality. So we pitch it down so it was in a different octave, because so that's what a lot of bands do live, is they'll just take it down one step on the scale, because that makes it easier to sing for a prolonged period of time. And that's what we did. But yeah, that's me singing. Guitarist with the flowing hair. That was somebody we were checking out earlier. Let me get to the end, because I really enjoyed the kind of screeching I did here. Yeah, so that was me. Do y'all want to hear one more song or no? Yeah, that was the band I was with for a little bit. And it just kind of, I would love to get back to, I love singing. Like I would love to get back to performing music at some point, but I don't, it's a mix of I don't have the time and I don't know anybody. So when I was playing with that band, it was like a cover band that we were just kind of getting started. We had a really good roster. We were going to start playing bars and stuff, and then the guitarist got a offer for an actual paying gig. So it was like, okay, well, I can't really knock that. And then I just never got back into it. I was in two bands for a while there. I was in one band that was like, I used to meet on the same day. And one was the cover band, and one was a more like 60s-ish hippie band, and it was not, it was just, it wasn't my scene. Like I enjoyed the kind of, like I enjoyed singing, but it wasn't challenging for me at all, and it wasn't really 100% Auction. I thought DD had always been a streamer, but I never really watched streams until I saw a community announcement. I mean, like, I am a streamer now, but the last time I think I brought these videos out were when I first started streaming. Let's do Rebel Yell is my other one that I'm really proud of. No, I do not. I wish I had the talent to play guitar, but I am merely a lowly singer. Yeah, I just sing. I do miss like practicing and stuff. And this one is Rebel Yell. Yeah, so that's Rebel Yell, and I have a couple other ones that they aren't like that impressive. But yeah, that is my very brief musical career there. I would love to do metal again. Like I love, if you couldn't tell, I listen to all kinds of music, but I like metal is kind of my like genre, my passion. I would love to do yeah, stuff like that. I was in, so a lot of people don't know this. I was in high school, I was in like school musical productions, and I was in choir for 3 years, and we went all Northwest and all, like I went to regional competitions, and it was all Northwest and all state. I'd love to eventually. I owned a guitar for several years, and I just never got around to actually learning how to play it. But I would love to eventually play one, like learn how to play one. All right, give me 1 second, y'all. Anyway, that was a fun little look. I'll bring this out again in another 6 months for Aiden. We didn't know that you weren't a theater kid. Oh, we don't know that. You should know I'm a theater kid. We have, who do we have today? Oh, sorry, I just saw somebody gifted me a subscription on something. On Twitter, on YouTube. Thank you very much, Gamer Grips, for joining the flock. Who are we rating tonight? That is a great question. So we have, Actual Jake talking about Shadiversity, crying about the gays, or Bratty Sucky Boy playing a furry bait game. So do you want to go? Do people here want to go play? Do you want to go watch a cute non-binary cutie play video games, or go watch more chud content? What are we feeling? More stuff, less stuff. More stuff, less stuff. Oh yeah, Lady Dom and I bet. I wish a lot of things were different about high school. I wish I was way more out and gay in high school. Yeah, I guess Shadiversity. The title on Actual Jake's is Shadiversity cries about the gay. Are we all right? We're gonna go and go. Everybody, if you go raid Bratty, go and subscribe and like them, and make sure to follow and stuff. And this game they're playing actually looks kind of cool. So go hang out and chat a little bit. They only have 5 viewers right now, so go hang out. We're going to be rating with like 70, so give them a go give them some love. And thanks to everybody else who watched. Make sure you like the stream, watch, share, do all the fun stuff. And thank you very much for watching, and everybody who donated. Huge thanks to God damn it, I'm blanking on names, but huge, you know who you are. Everybody who donated.